show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the alpha. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood on blood, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
How did this trade come together?
Nicole, this has been a conversation Atlanta and New Orleans has been having, really on and off for months. But for Atlanta, the Trae Young, Dejounte Murray partnership just never worked. 2 years of it. And simply it was easier to trade Dejounte Murray. There was more of a market with his contract and kind of where he is right now in this league. So for New Orleans, they see Murray as a player who could help them in fourth quarters, another offensive creator to go with CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson. And I think for Atlanta, they were able to get a draft pick in 2025. They were out of that draft because of the Murray trade and what they gave up for San Antonio. This is one of the biggest drafts in years coming next year, and they are back in that draft with a pick.
So one of the things to, I think, also keep in mind in all of this is the fact that Brandon Ingram could very easily be going into the final year of his contract. So what are the dominoes that could potentially fall now?
Listen, Brandon Ingram, his agent, Jeff Schwartz, and the Pelicans, they'd like to get an extension done, but this is a new world right now with the salary cap. And the idea that they would be able to max out Brandon Ingram for a second time becomes difficult with the roster they have, the payroll they have. And so I think this is going to be a dance for a while. They've been open to looking at trades for Ingram. Their intent is to try to keep him, but I think there's still uncertainty right now about what Ingram's future is going to be in New Orleans.
All right. For all things Pelicans, man, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock, man. Appreciate you chiming on this episode of Pelican Postgame Report PPR on Saturday, man. I had some stuff I had to take care of this morning, so I'm glad you guys are chilling on this afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic week. It's a nice day outside. It's very hot where I'm at. I had to run the boys to the barbershop. You know how that can be sometimes, man. But listen, I'm here right now. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. Please feel free to hit the like button. Hit the sub button if you're not a subscriber.
Hey, bro, I'm here too, yeah.
DC, can I just get through it? I was about to introduce you, my brother. I got you. All right, so anyway, shout out to y'all. Also, we got DC riding shotgun. Shout out to DC. Appreciate him being here as well.
Yeah, Big Q late. It was supposed to be Big Q in the morning and the guys in the morning.
Well, I told the people at DC.
That turned into the evening. What's going on, bro?
I just told the people what happened, brother. So you kind of late to the party.
No, why you lying to the people? You was in the studio trying to make fake Rastafari songs. I heard you.
No, I wasn't. What are you talking about?
That's what you was doing. We were supposed to have a production meeting. You was in the studio rapping.
Was I?
Yes.
I was trying to get you to play the guitar. You didn't want to play it for me, bro. You was going on with you. All right, anyway, man. DC tripping, man. Anyway, we up in this thing. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the stream as well. All right, so anyway, man, I played the little piece on from Adrian Wojnarowski because there's game in there where it talks about with the Pelicans. What are they going to do with BI? That's the next thing. There's confusion now, or not confusion rather, but there is now a talking point about running it with these guys that they have here. And we know, contractually speaking, you know, you got Trey Murphy coming up, and you got to get to a point where you're not going to be able to pay everybody. Something's got to give, and you got to make a decision and stick with it. So that's where we appear to be right now. And this is a little tweet from Dejounte here. He is kind of from his Twitter account, and you can see he got Noel on there, #504, and you see what he got. So he kind of happy about that as he getting ready to join Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, man, in the city of New Orleans. We got to get this thing popping and snapping and everything else down here in the boot. We got to carry it forward because everybody, especially in the Western Conference, are leveling up their games, man. So we got to represent, man. We got to be decisive, and we got to make moves and make grooves. So, DC, before I jump into some of these topics I want to cover, man, what you want to talk about? You want to have a little comment there on what Adrian Wojnarowski reported?
Nah, not really. I want to talk about what I want to talk about.
Okay.
He ain't reporting nothing we ain't already covered already. But the more important thing, you can talk about that if you want to. I ain't got nothing to say on that. We already went over that bunch last show. Paul George declined his player option, so I'm just curious about that. See where he would end up. The Warriors. And would it be interesting if, I guess, we flip CJ Ingram and wound up with Paul George? He always ranting and raving about Herb Jones.
For what? Who you giving Ingram for? What's the trade? What you thinking?
I mean, theoretically, it could be Ingram and CJ. You move on from both of them some type of way. You wind up with Paul George, and you fill out the rest of your roster.
Why Paul George, though, bro? What's going on with that?
I'm just looking at possibilities, man. I don't have this is what we should go do. It's just curiosity at this point, man. Looking at the Pels roster and what they still have, having Dejounte Murray, I think it's a bunch of different directions we could go in. We don't just have to, we trade BI for a center. You could think of all type of different options, to be honest, to upgrade the team. It would be all about, to me, who fits well with Zion. Paul George would fit really good with Zion. I mean, my whole thing with Trae Young wasn't no mad obsession with Trae Young. It's just about having premium perimeter players around Zion. So I would be willing to look at anything like that where you can drastically improve on the perimeter and have somebody who, shot profile creates more space for Zion to do what he does.
Okay, so you like Paul George? How's the money work? What's the money on that George Paul?
I mean, he declined his player option, so whatever he agreed to on the contract, I don't know. But he was set to make 40-something million, so I would bet he wants at least that.
Okay, well, let me ask the fam. How y'all feel about DC's idea about Paul George? What do y'all think, fam? Chime in the chat. Let me know how y'all feel about that as well. And while he was talking, I was basically working on a poll that I wanted to kind of give to you guys to see if I can kind of get your ideas. And the poll question is, should we trade BI or keep him after the Murray trade? So that poll is now posted. You guys feel free to chime in that poll and let me know your thoughts on it, because that, Adrian Wojnarowski did report it, and it's very interesting that the Pelicans did go the way they did in terms of basically trading reserves to acquire a really good starter at a position of need, which is a good move by the Pelicans. But BI is now, it's kind of gotten into an area where they, are they waffling here on whether they get rid of him rather. And that's why I'm at on my thing. It's like, okay, we walk this here. We need to keep on doing it and see if we can find some more talent, because we can't afford demand. Trey Murphy is a guy that's coming up on the contract extension. He's the future of the team, and we need to keep this thing going forward. It's no time to waffle. We have to be decisive, and we have to understand whatever the plan is to improve the team and make it better. Now, I know there's a lot of people that like BI. I like BI. But from a financial standpoint, I don't think it's feasible. Even if he takes a slight pay cut, he ain't gonna take that much, And then again, this just could be rhetoric that David Griffin, the VP, is throwing out there to kind of elevate the trade market for BI before we get to tomorrow. A lot of that stuff starts popping and snapping tomorrow, so we'll see. Somebody's going to offer something for Brandon Ingram, because everybody recognizes Brandon Ingram is a good player, still in his prime, doing his thing. And we're going to get a good package for BI. Somebody's going to offer a good package for Brandon Ingram, no doubt about it. We're going to get something. All right. Anyway, let's kind of move on to this, family. This is a Yahoo Sports article. Brandon Ingram expected to become available for trade as wing market comes into focus. This is Jake Fisher, the senior reporter at Yahoo Sports, and he basically breaks it down. With the 2020 draft over, the league's transaction market is expected to continue with trade activity over the weekend. League sources told Yahoo Sports, as various clubs look to add players for the next season or reshuffle salary in advance of the 2024-25 business year, beginning with free agency opens 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Thursday's second round of the draft also saw the Nuggets, for example, send 3 future second-round picks to Charlotte, sources said, in order to move Reggie Jackson's $5.2 million salary. That's a move that should open necessarily flexibility for Denver as NBA personnel prepares for the Nuggets swingman KCP, Caldwell Pope, to exit via free agency after the veteran declined his $15.4 million player option on Thursday, right? There are several other important player options and contract guarantees, decisions looming over the next 48 hours, perhaps none more important than Paul George's $48.7 million option to remain with the Clippers, which he could feasibly decline and join KCP on the open market. Another wing player who should factor in that mix of perimeter talent, Brandon Ingram, is expected to become available for trade in New Orleans. League sources have told Yahoo Sports that should Ingram's representation and the Pelicans front office come short of finding a long-term extension agreement before Ingram enters the final year of his current contract in 24-25. Now, David Griffin told reporters following Wednesday's night's first round, the Pelicans hope to retain Ingram, and Ingram wants to remain in New Orleans. The Pelicans, though, have never paid into the luxury, and New Orleans will likely have to draw a line at some threshold be below Ingram's maximum potential salary. Ingram has been listed among Philadelphia's targets this offseason, sources said, somewhere below George's. Also, there's not exactly clear where Ingram ranks among the Sixers' proverbial group of wing targets that they slot in, between Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. In the event that George spurns Philadelphia, the Sixers could easily acquire Ingram into their $60 million plus cap space. But could Philly's 3 first-round picks prove enough return for Ingram? Cleveland continues to be mentioned by league personnel as possible alternative for Brandon Ingram, but there's no straightforward path to make such a deal work with the Cavs. While Cleveland's whole interest in Ingram and values his skill set, sources said, Cavs personnel have maintained a reluctance to breaking up the team's core of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. As NBA figures continue preparing for Mitchell to sign a lucrative extension without parting with Allen, who's long been on the New Orleans radar, it's difficult to find a path to bring Ingram to Northeast Ohio. I'm sorry. Another center the Pelicans have been eyeing is Nets big man Nick Claxton, who is committed to a for 4 more years at $100 million with Brooklyn. Now, Cleveland doesn't want to part with Garland either. And sources said if his representation is at Clutch Sports continues to push his own trade. So Atlanta's another popular landing spot. League sources have pointed to Ingram, but there's no substantive talks between the Hawks and sources, not between them and all that. And of course, the Dejounte Murray trade, of course, happened there. So with that being said, in addition to the Spurs and Lakers that they talk about, but Young's fit has never made much sense for New Orleans situation that currently features CJ McCollum in its backcourt. Another team to monitor for Ingram could be Sacramento. The Kings have been weighing paths to acquire wings. Sources said Kyle Kuzma to Zach LaVine and Ingram could be another option for Sacramento to explore. Sources said the Kings have veteran wings Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter, whom Sacramento placed on the trade market last deadline. Sources said, and there are 2 salaries combined for almost a perfect match to meet Ingram's $36 million expiring 2024-25 deal. So that's interesting, and just to kind of share a little game with you on that, and also kind of share some more game with your family as we look at this is the Pelicans offseason situation, dealing with that as well. And and let me kind of put this on the screen so y'all can see this right here. And this New Orleans offseason, 2024 offseason situation, potential starting 5 as it stands right now. And he has, this is done by Marks of ESPN. He got McCollum at I don't know why is that, but anyway, you see the 5 that he has there. In the reserves is Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, Matt Ryan, Trey Murphy, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Misi, and blah, 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 as we keep it going. So team salary, $168. New Orleans cannot exceed the first apron, tax threshold 171.3, and the first apron at 178.7 includes unlikely bonuses. Free agents is a Big V and Najee Marshall, and the exceptions that we have, the non-tax mid-level exception of almost $13 million, the biannual of 4.7, and of course you have the second round and veteran minimum. So that's some of the stuff right now for the Pels. DC, before we continue to move on, go ahead. I'm going to give you an opportunity, brother, to kind of chime in.
And that's a lot, bro.
I know.
And when you look at things, I mean, that's the easiest, most realistic, simplest path would be to trade BI and then go after a center. Yeah, you know my option. I already said what center I want, but it ain't gonna happen. Give me Jonathan Isaac and Cole Anthony Black or one of them other little guards over there from Orlando. CJ McCollum. I keep BI or I'll flip him for something later. But knowing this team, man, I think they're gonna push all their chips in and keep trying like hell to go after Jared Allen. Like, I think that is the number one option. That's who the Pels really, really want. He fits the switch all. He gives you offensive versatility. Probably out of a lot of the centers out there, he's probably one of the better offensive ones that we can obtain, unless you're talking about like Miles Turner, which we don't really know if we can obtain him, right? Then you got your boy from Milwaukee. I wouldn't be mad if we got Lopez, but I didn't realize that dude making $24 million. That's crazy. But for 1 or 2 years to get Misi up to speed, I don't think we can be horrible with that. But how will Willie feel about that? I don't think he fits the switch all. That's why they want to get him out of the Bucks. They're probably going to a switchable system, watching what the Celtics did. Everybody wants these mobile bigs now, that can shoot threes. This shit don't even exist, but that's what everybody wants, You got very few guys that can do that. Jared Allen doesn't shoot threes, but he's mobile enough to switch on point guards for limited time and not get abused. And he's a great rim protector. Very good third option. Like if somebody were to get hurt, Dejounte, BI, CJ, Zion, you got somebody else that can probably give you 20 points every night. I'm not feeling the anything with Robinson, just don't even mention his name connected to us. I don't want to hear that. The more I look at a lot of bigs, then I also think about, okay, we drafted Mises, right? They went down, they saw him. He's got such potential to grow. Da, da, da. What do they really see in this grand vision for him? And the more I think about that, we either going to sign a serviceable big, right? And if we do trade one of these guys, we just, get more ammunition. Or they're going to get Jared Allen. Like, Jared Allen fits the timeline of Mises too. You getting a dude $24 million for about 3 years, right? So if Mises is ready, at that point, you can let Jared Allen walk, pretty much, and then you find your backup. So the more I look at it and think about it, that's probably what's going to happen, Big Q. Jared Allen is the move. We're going to sit and go through all the minutia of him not wanting to go. We got to see about not Dejounte. Donovan Mitchell doesn't want him traded and all this stuff. So I think it's going to be a while. But the Pels may do something at the beginning of free agency. I mean, we only got 11 people on the roster. I don't think they're going to trust all them other spots to undrafted players. And, with our rookies, that put us at 13, right? So we still need 3 other slots. So they would have to sign at least one player. So I could see them signing a relatively inexpensive center to start free agency tomorrow. And we'd be right back here talking about that. Is this the center of the future? Is this the guy that's going to bring Mises in? And then they pull off a trade for Jared Allen. It just had that dude too. And, Will ain't going to use all 3 of them. So Mises be down playing in the G League all year.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a good problem to have because you have options. That's the pleasant thing. One of the biggest needs the Pelicans had was fulfilling the point guard role, and they done it masterfully. So now you have options with Brandon Ingram and eventually CJ McCollum, where you can get another starter there. Misi can operate as a reserve. And then eventually, when you do decide to move CJ McCollum, then you could be able to get assets for that as well, whether they're draft picks or whatever or a reserve or whatnot. So the Pelicans are, like I said, just knocking it out. Solid B draft, quadruple A trade yesterday to get Dejounte for basically reserves, a starter for reserves without giving up the top trade piece that you have. They are doing a wonderful job right now. So they still have to finish the mission. I'm not celebrating. We got to get to the end of this. We got to make sure we finish up with the trades and go through free agency, do what we got to do to improve this team, because the West and especially the Southwest it's going to be tough. So we got to do what we got to do. So it's good options to have. I'll tell you what, DC, it really is. But anyway, let me go ahead on before I bounce to this next topic. Let me get a few shots out to the family members. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank y'all for being here. Please hit the like button for me if you hadn't gotten a chance to. It's free. Also, if you're not a subscriber, hit the sub button as well. If you're listening on different platforms, give me a like. If you're on X, give me a retweet. That helps. And also for the family members in the chat, there is a poll up there. I want to hear from you guys. Over 70 plus people right now have voted on the poll. Y'all chime in on the poll. Let me know what y'all think about that question. Should we trade BI or keep him after the Murray trade? So let me know how you feel about that, man. And after we finish with that, I'll put another one up there to hear from you guys, man, as well. So big ups to all y'all. Kevin, Marley Mall, just A Davis, shout out to you. JH15, I see you, brother Jasper. Quality Dividends, good to see you as well. Big ups to everybody. Mario, I see you, Bam. Jay Carvo, what's up, Jay? Appreciate you, man. Vulture Mode, big ups to you as well. Good to see you. Trevan, I see you, brother Sean. Big ups to everybody, man. Josh, I see you, fam. Shout out to Josh in his bag. Big ups to you, fam. Fire in the Hellcat. Much love. Everybody, what's up,
Fire
V-Man?
in the Hellcat, huh?
Fireman in the
What type of fire you got in the Hellcat, bro?
Fireman in the Hellcat, you know.
Oh,
he might,
fireman. I was about to say, all right.
yeah, he might be a firefighter, brother. You know. All right, KB Flame, another fire reference. KB Flame, shout out to you, man, as well. Appreciate you, man. He says, Shout out to QDC and the Flock. BI definitely had a bad playoff series. We have so much heat for him, but we have looked. I don't know what happened. DC, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, bro.
On Zion, see DC up here trying to mess up stuff. Zion for years, who has always been on the bench when season on line, 5 years, keep the team 1 month or one more. I guess you're saying thank you for that, dog. The writer, appreciate you as well. The only reason I say trade BI is because he doesn't fit with our new team, and it looks like we're trying to spread the floor with Zion. Let's move it into the future. Michael Morgan, shout out to you, brother. Good to see you in the stream as well. We have to trade him. I agree with this logic, man. A lot of people getting sentimental. LS says paying BI like 40 mil to come off the bench is crazy. I know. When it's your time to go, you got to go, brother. You have to leave. I know people love that, man. But when it's time, bro.
It was calling me DC before Derek called trucker, but appreciate the $4.99, dog.
There you go. What your name stand? Actually, it stands for damage control. That's what DC's.
No, it don't stand for damage.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. All right, thank you all, World Truck. Appreciate that, man. Much love.
It stands for direct currency, bro. Pay me in dollars and currency.
Okay. All right, that sounds much better. There you go. All right, Kai, shout out to you. He says, Big Cat, UEP, how you doing, fam? Appreciate you. Well, I got to give a shout out. All right, Jeff Avery, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. Much love to all y'all, man. Much love. All right, so anyway, let's keep it twisting and turning, man. Once again, All World Trucker, thank you for the super chat, fam. Appreciate you. Let's cover this story right here because a lot of people had seen this. Hold on, where is it here? There it is. This story right here from Clutch, and they were talking about pretty much this article. Pelicans emerge as betting favorite to be DeAndre Ayton's next team. All right, if the Trailblazers move on from him, New Orleans is the favorite to land him. New Orleans just revamped the roster on Friday, acquiring Dejounte Murray from the Hawks in exchange for Larry Nance, Dyson Daniels, and draft picks, but picks, and as well as EJ Liddell has been thrown in the mix too. But they could possibly still not be done with Ingram still on the Pelicans roster after months of trade rumors. If New Orleans is looking for an offensive upgrade at center, they could do worse than Portland Trailblazers center DeAndre Ayton. In fact, the Pelicans are the betting favorite to be DeAndre Ayton's next team. If he's moved this offseason, this is called
excuse me, Q. I got one question before you keep going on and on about DeAndre Ayton. I know the Pelicans have a physical therapist, right? But if we get DeAndre Ayton, will we just get a therapist?
Nah, you keep your physical therapist.
Does he come with a therapist? He needs mental therapy. Do we get a therapist?
He's a talented guy, man. But boy,
if we get a therapist, what's the other one? What do they call them? The people who scared to take shots at the end of the game, and they go to the sports psychologist or something like that.
Cowards? I don't know I don't know. I don't know. Shook ones? I don't know who you're talking about, brother.
They're scared to shoot a ball at the end of the game in the children's game.
Oh, children's game. Okay. Shook ones?
No. But I think they call them sports psychologists, right? Like the guys who they have mental blocks on the court. We got to get one of them, man.
You would need a hypnotherapist.
A hypnotherapist. We get that, and we get a regular therapist and a sports psychologist. We get all three of them, and then we get DeAndre Ayton over here. And don't never have Monty Williams come to none of the Pelicans games because he's gonna be off for a long time on vacation. Gallivanting all around the world with all that money he got. He can't show up to none of our games to cheer on Willie or nothing like that. And I think we might be able to do it, bro.
Yeah,
they don't want BI though. They just got Denny Abdul who plays. I think he's like a small forward or power forward, and they still got Jeremy Grant. Why would they?
I don't know.
How we turn BI? I'm sure they'd be happy to get off DeAndre Ayton. Though they'd probably be doing backflips if somebody want him. So.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking probably they'll definitely because they got and also they drafted 7th overall in the draft. They picked up Donovan Clingan. So I mean, at some point you would probably think that they will move him into that position.
We might be able to get paid to get him. They might give us a few picks just to take him.
Could be, but DeAndre Ayton's a big name that draws attention. He's a bit of a head case. But you talk about guys like Robert Williams III, who was with Boston and went out there to Portland. He's a guy that's a more mobile, defensive-minded game. Doesn't have a name, but his knock on it is injuries. He's been banged up a lot lately, so he could be a person that you might want to consider. Like let me cover some of that because it's a little breakdown, I think, in the article about that. Robert Williams III is a more mobile defensive anchor who succeeds with positioning, but can't be counted on to play a full season or even half a season due to his chronic knee issue. So that might be something right there. We might have to look away.
That ain't no problem. In my Shannon Sharp voice, that ain't no problem. You got Mises, bro.
Mises?
Mises.
Misi. Yeah, Misi. Yeah.
You get him, you get a cheap backup center. Rob wouldn't cost you a whole bunch of money. And then that leaves you, I guess, room to get another dynamic player that can come off the bench and do something for you.
That's true. I mean, we got an opportunity. Like I said,
we don't need, like, my thing is, man, looking at our current lineup and what we have, we don't need this like dynamic offensive center. We don't. I mean, if you can, obviously that make your team better. But you just need somebody who can set screens, right? Get rebounds, know how to play, intelligent basketball, and I think you can be fine.
Well, I mean, we'll see what they can get, man. Like I said, we have good options here, man, to be honest with you. And some of the article right here, and to cover some of this is from NOLA.com. They got some of this in the article while you was talking about it, and made a Times Picayune reported that the Pelicans are willing to offer Ingram an extension, but not at the maximum value, which is $208 million over 4 years. There remains a world in which Ingram is back next season in New Orleans, but the expectation from many league insiders the Time Picayune spoke to is that Ingram will be moved in the next few weeks. Right now, the Pelicans have 10 players under contract, assuming that the team guarantees Matt Ryan's $2.2 million option. The Pelicans $4.7 million below the NBA luxury tax line while still needing to add 3 players to guaranteed roster spots. New Orleans' biggest need is starting center. It's possible that the Pelicans move Ingram to address the hole. The Pelicans would love to add Jared Allen, a low-maintenance rim protector and lob threat, who is on a team-friendly contract. It is unclear if the Cavs are willing to part with him. Cleveland's president of basketball operations, Kobe Altman, said he didn't envision breaking up his core group of players a few weeks ago. Somebody gonna go. He gonna break them up sooner or later, because if you give Spider that contract, Darius Garland is gonna opt out, is wants out, and Rich Paul pretty much put that out there. And he's not afraid about keeping his plans out there. And by the way, this whole LeBron and Bronny thing that happened, I was watching and I was like, man, Rich Paul called all those teams and told them not to draft LeBron's son. None of this shit happened by chance, man. That dude
he said if they drafted him, LeBron's son was gonna go to Europe or something like that, huh?
Yeah, he said it was Europe, or I forgot, was it Australia or something? Y'all put it in the chat.
He's gonna go play overseas somewhere.
Yeah, he said he's going overseas, so don't draft him. All right, anyway, Utah center Walter Kessler is a younger, cheaper option who the NBA personnel have mentioned. Kessler has averaged 2.4 blocks per game in his first 2 seasons. He's owed just $3 million this upcoming season. So far, that has been no real traction on a deal that could bring him to New Orleans, league sources said. Now, the Pelicans addressed one of their needs by dealing for Murray on Friday, yet the roster feels far from complete. They have been on a hunt for a rim-protecting center for more than a year. Expect them to keep searching for one, and they could very well find them, because the Pelicans at this time juncture have the assets and the resources to acquire the proper big that they've been looking for to make Willie Green a happy guy running the team. So you got a starting level point guard. You have an opportunity to secure a starting level switch all type 5, and then have a promising backup big off the bench, and you fill in, do what you got to do with the fill in, and get you some help down on the reserve to help your second line, and then you go ahead on and do your damn thing this upcoming season. Willie Green need to tighten it up, get a little bit more smart in his adjustments, a little faster in his adjustments, and stop being as stubborn as he was last year. We should see some progress. So DC, a lot of people, including Tom Picayune and others, are saying that despite all the warm talk about Brandon Ingram, they still thinking that they're going to get him out of here, and they should. I think they should, man.
Well,
We can't.
I mean, when you look at it, man, I mean, you got Dejounte Murray, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones. I mean, you only got 3 slots. All those guys are starters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a bit much to try to think 2 of them gonna be willing to come off the bench. It's just it's clunky, man, for us to fit. Unless Zion been really hitting the weight room or something, and it's just something we're not expecting. Well, maybe Zion playing at the center spot. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm not saying this is going to happen. But just what if that is a thing? You know, Zion has taken it upon himself, and they sat down and they talked about all of this before they did it, which, I mean, knowing our organization, I wouldn't expect this to be true. That'd be a little too forward thinking. But they did pull off this trade, and I didn't think they were going to pull it off without B.I. or Herb or something like that. So you got to keep things on the table. But what if there was some type of talk or discussion, and Zion is working at it right now? You got to remember, Q, David Griffin said it. Zion is a supercharged Draymond Green, right? Is he not a supercharged Draymond Green? Wait, hold up. I got one more. And he is an impressive specimen that builds muscle faster than anybody I've ever seen. You forgot that? Did you forget that?
No,
so let's say, all jokes aside, Zion is actually looking at, you know, embracing that role. Now, if Zion would do that, I think you could do it, but you still need, you know, a traditional center. But that does give you the ability to play these guys and see them not get traded. And you could also kind of make the money work depending on what you sign B.I. at. Not expecting it. But if that was a thing, do you think we could be successful in that manner? This probably would be a 1-year thing, by the way, too, because, you know.
So let me make sure I got your question together. You're asking me whether or not we'll be successful holding on to Brandon Ingram for another year. That's what you're saying?
No, it would be holding on to C.J. McCollum for another year. If you did this, putting Zion at the 5, this would be to make way for a trade Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones lineup after C.J. McCollum is out of here with Dejounte. I mean, you're really big in every area except power forward and center, but you have a traditional center, you know, serviceable big kind of guy you're going to have as a bridge to Mises, right? And then you have maybe another backup for him that could possibly play power forward too, power forward or center guy. And you give it a shot. Like, how would you stop Zion? Now, I see your 504 code. When you run across Wemby, Goldberg, Cat, Joker, well, 2 of them guys, ain't no answer for them. I mean, you ain't doing nothing with Wemby and Joker anyway, so why even try? What do you do to stop Joker? How many times did we try this? The most success we had in stopping Joker was just letting him score and not letting his teammates score. That was our best strategy against Joker. So,
that's what you can do.
Zion can do that. It really don't matter. Don't foul out, big fella. You know, he gonna get 40 tonight. But you still have a traditional center on your team that you can go away from that for certain lineups if they got somebody that really can kill you at the 5. Because you got a lot of 5s now, man, that, you know, teams are just trying to make them be good enough so you can't put like a wing player on them. You know, a lot of these dudes at the 5 ain't doing a whole lot, but that's just something far out. I don't think that's going to happen. But I would like to see us at least run a lineup like that. I think that would be a very impactful lineup. Not so sure myself how long you could run that lineup though.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just want this to the BI thing. BI, I'm cut and dry. If you're not going to pay him, and we, even though if he don't want the max or right up under the max, we can't afford BI at this juncture. And the reason why is because we got a guy that's coming up that's ready to step in that starting role, that's looking for those minutes. We drafted this guy in the first round. He started off as a shooter. His game improved, and he needs more minutes. He needs more minutes to be able to develop into what we really, truly believe he could be. So in order to have that, you got to get the guy who in front of him, whose contract is up, his time is up here. And that's just, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. That's what we take the first round draft picks for. It gets to a point where they need to get a lot of minutes to develop and turn into the players that we see them for. Brandon Ingram had a time span. It was a window of opportunity for the Pelicans, and it didn't work out in the way that we wanted it to go. We won 49 games last year, but we got ousted in the playoffs, and that's not on BI totally, because a lot of the team just stunk. They fell apart toward the back end of the season. But that's even more of an emphasis to kind of move this thing in a different direction. So that's what I'm saying. From a contract standpoint, you can't afford them. You have to be able to pay. You paying the first round draft pick and Trey Murphy III, who's coming up. We gotta move Trey in here. The CJ chip, I don't like you said. I think CJ McCollum needs to be traded. If you're going to break up the core, which is Zion, BI, and CJ, and Zion is the piece that you're building around, then those other two guys have to go, especially CJ McCollum. He has to go because he's standing in the way of Jordan Hawkins. He has an expensive contract, and you owe him over $60 million over the next 2 years on an escalating deal, and he's getting older. His defense is pretty bad. Well, like especially in the playoffs, they were just working CJ. His 3-point shooting and all that was pretty decent as well. But we got another guy, once again, who's cheaper than CJ McCollum, who has more upside than CJ McCollum, and Jordan Hawkins, who needs that to develop. So that's what I'm looking at, brother. That's all I'm saying. And you're going to have to trade these guys one way or the other. You might as well just get it on out the way so that we can start from the start of the season going forward and make sure all these guys are ready when the year flips over with. We need to get whatever we can.
Not Big Q. You know we don't start over and start nothing fresh. That's not how we do things, bro. 2019 we kept the same coach and the same non-physical therapist, and we're not gonna do that, brother. We're not gonna do that. This is gonna be a hodgepodge of some type of situation.
Here you go.
Whether you like it or not.
Here we go. I'm saying, bro, this is the juncture where
this may very well be. All these guys may be on the team at the start of the season, bro.
They could. I'm not discounting that, but what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I ain't got nothing else to tell you then.
Yeah, I'm not shooing that point. You could be right on that.
I don't think it would be a bad idea for that to happen, because the last thing I want to see them do right now is what I know they can do and mess up, which was like try and be desperate and hurry up and get off of Brandon Ingram. If you got to, man, look, give him the contract. Do what you got to do to get an adequate return for him, as best as you can within reason.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That
right.
I agree with you on that. I'm saying that it could very well drag on into the regular season where you might have one trade and you might have the other one, but it depends on the trade market for CJ McCollum. Like we talked about Orlando, that's a real thing. Like that, Orlando is interested in CJ McCollum, and they could work with his contract. They're looking for.
Do you have any articles on that, brother? Like they had somebody leaking that, or are you just going because Orlando is looking badly at some type of really good shooter Like, because they going hard at Klay Thompson. I hear a lot of those. Did they have any information that they were interested in CJ?
It's rumorville, but I can see
Okay.
if I can pull something up because I remember a couple articles came past my tweets that came past my desk that I was looking at when I was researching CJ McCollum's trade value, and they had a couple of teams that popped up there. Orlando was one of the teams that were interested in having a veteran that can kind of steady that young team that they have. You know, that can come in and help them out. So
you go over there and be a professional.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the things that I remember hearing. Now, matter of fact, let me see. There are a few people that have it, and let me see. It's a couple of them, man. Here's one right here. Matter of fact, it's straight from Orlando. The Orlando Insider put this out here. Jeremy Brenner, why the Magic should trade for Pelicans point guard CJ McCollum.
Okay.
Into it.
What are you saying? Let's read that article. That's interesting, bro.
The Magic will likely be dipping their toe in the point guard market this summer, both in the trade and free agent selections. While there hasn't been a lot of noise surrounding CJ McCollum's future with the Pelicans, the Magic might make sense as a potential destination. McCollum, who turns 33 in September, averaged 20 points per game with the Pelicans last season as they marched to the number 8 seed in the Western Conference. Now, the Pels are in the middle of nowhere in terms of their direction, and even look at the Orlando people saying that. Moving a player like CJ McCollum could give them a little bit more clarity. The Magic need a table setter that can help Paolo and Franz make plays without always needing the ball in their hands. During his time with Portland, McCollum played mostly off ball with Dame Lillard running the point. This means that Paolo and Wagner and even Suggs can handle the ball and flex their own ball handling skills. McCollum also made 42% of his three-point shots with the Pelicans and has made nearly 40% throughout his entire career, which would help solve the Magic woes from distance. Orlando made the least amount of three-pointers this past season, so adding McCollum will help fix that. A trade for McCollum will likely force the Magic to part with at least one of Anthony Black, Jet Howard, last year's lottery picks. The Magic could also probably need to say goodbye to players like Jonathan Isaac, your favorite, Wendell Carter Jr. to match salaries. This might make the deal tricky, but if the Magic can make it happen to a spot where they feel they can make the team better, the trigger should be pulled. So they have this, and they got other articles that talk about CJ McCollum as Orlando mentioning CJ McCollum as a potential fit. So, you know, that it's just some of those out there. It's a couple of those.
I like that article, bro.
Indeed.
Give me Jonathan Isaac, you Cole Anthony, and I take your dude, Wendell Carter Jr. One of them, you know. I like Jonathan Isaac over everybody, but I take Wendell Carter Jr. too. He damn good too. You know, and you got Mises who can bring the defense that Wendell Carter Jr. is lacking. He's not a major rim protector to me, but he's good enough. He's good enough. He can do what JV did or better. So yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all. But if you bring back those guys with those salaries to try and match salaries, if that's what they're trying to do, you know, you still stuck with trying to move Brandon Ingram too, because you're still gonna be in a money dilemma. You're gonna have to re-sign Jonathan Isaac unless you're gonna keep him here for 1 year and let him walk.
He got
Wendell
1 year.
Carter Jr. is probably on a better contract than Jonathan Isaac, and it's longer. So I don't think they would want to move him. But Jonathan Isaac at $17 million for 1 year, he probably won't bump that up to at least 20 something.
17.4 mil for 1 year. Yeah.
And my man Mike Garcia want us to hear this one, bro. He dead set about this. Let me see if Pop and put him up there. He dead set about Bridges from Charlotte and Williams. My only thing about that is I'm not so high on Bridges. I don't see where he fit on our team, to be honest, unless you're just going to have him as a bench guy, because I'm not starting him over Herb, Trey, or CJ, to be honest. He is a good player. I just don't, for our team, I maximize shooting. And I think everybody I just mentioned probably is better than him. Maybe Herb, borderline, but, Herb brings defensively. Mark Williams, I don't see why Charlotte would be trying to get rid of Mark Williams to bring in B.I. when they got Brandon Miller. If you go look at Brandon Miller's game, I'm not saying he plays exactly like BI. He doesn't, but they have a lot of similarities, man. You got another guy there that's kind of tall, ISO scorer, can score at 3 levels. I just don't see them willing to give up Mark Williams and try to give you Bridges for that. And then they're going to have to give us picks, bro. Come on. That ain't enough. You got to give us picks. That's the only thing that would make it interesting. Mark Williams is good, but, he's still a guy that's growing. But he's a solid starting center, so I wouldn't be mad at getting him. Giving up BI, though, I think we can do better.
Yeah, I think so too, man. And they got a couple of things. We're gonna see a lot popping, man. And a lot of people think within next week BI will be traded. A lot of it, and it is starting to look like see some of these first moves made, like during the trade situation happen, or what happens when the free agency opens up there, and you start seeing all these first moves making, then you're gonna see all of it start tumbling over like dominoes, man, one after the other. Because people are going to want to try to see if they can get the person that they want, because the person that they want is going to be going to somebody else, and then it's going to start like a free fall effect, where you're going to see multiple offers for Brandon Ingram, because they're trying to suppress Brandon Ingram's trade value, but that won't work when teams really get when those dominoes start falling.
It's really just one player, Big Q. One player is in front of Brandon Ingram, and that's Paul George. When Paul George decides what he wants to do, he's going to start getting all the calls about Brandon Ingram, because there's no better forward out there that's available. I mean, come on, man. We talking about a dude that's 6'8", 6'9", can score on all 3 levels, regardless of what happened in the playoffs. And I know he got some injury concerns. I'm not saying he's Paul George, but that is valuable. That's valuable in the league. They got a lot of guys like that teams covet and they want, because of the size, the length, and what he can do. I think his game, you hate those contested twos, right, that he takes. He does take a lot of opportunities away from us and slow the game down with that. Not crazy about when he gets in his bag with that play style. But in the playoffs, though, a team that pretty much feels they're going to be in the playoffs, probably somebody in the East, I think they will see Brandon Ingram as really valuable. It's almost like DeMar DeRozan, but he does actually shoot 3-pointers. Like BI went through these phases. It's up and down on the fact that he takes them, but you never see DeMar DeRozan take any. BI shoots 3-pointers, and you just seen him shoot a bunch a year. So a smart team would be looking at that. They would look at, okay, what did the Pelicans do stupidly that had to do not taking him, or why isn't he buying into the offense to take him, depending on which side you want to believe, or whether it's us not scheming it up right for him, or him just not buying into the scheme. It's definitely one of them, or maybe it could be a combination of both. But a smart team would look at that and look at when BI was shooting more threes, because he had like 2 or 3 seasons where he shot 39% from 3-point line. And the ironic thing about that is, other than he had one more season where I think he shot 36, but all of those seasons where he shot good from 3-point line, it was on like higher volume. That's the weird thing about it. So when he have a season where he's down on his percentages this year, and then he didn't even take a lot of them, but you got these other years where you take more and you shoot better at taking them. It's really weird. BI is putting it on point guard. Maybe other teams look at that and they see the same thing.
Yeah, but it's rumors that Paul George wants to stay on the West Coast, and there are Golden State Warriors, or a team that's loading up to.
Boy, I don't want to sell that house, huh?
He said that he wants to remain on the West Coast, so that pretty much puts him right there.
His churn in school, and he don't want to sell that house. He wants
to stay on the West Coast, right? So, remember he was trying to work his way back there. Anyway, he was trying to get back to the West Coast anyway. He was with Indiana for a while, then he went OKC. He was trying to work his way back to the West Coast. So
he just stopped his U-Haul everywhere until he got to LA.
Yes, that's right. He worked his way back, and he's like, I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna go nowhere else. My family's here. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah.
So let's go to Golden State. It is, man. I don't see how he works on the Lakers. I don't see how that works. I guess it could if LeBron go back to playing point guard.
Yeah, it appears it's going to be Golden State. They have really not been communicating with Klay. We know that was going to be over with Klay. Thompson is not going to be there. So they're firmly looking at giving Paul George that 4-year deal. And we'll probably, if it's true, we'll hear from it soon.
What if Klay Thompson actually returns back to form once he leaves the Warriors? Wouldn't that be so?
Return back to form.
Yeah. He
is
returns back to the Klay before the injuries.
Well,
bearing
he ain't gonna have that.
Just his scoring. I don't think he'll ever be that defender again.
Right? No. That's why I paused.
I think he could be that scorer again, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He can still shoot the ball. It's just his athleticism in terms of having that injury. That definitely is going to impact him playing defense. But that shot, when if he lands somewhere and he gonna still have that jump shot, he gonna still be able to shoot that thing. So it's just a lot of money. Like they didn't feel comfortable with anything. Paul George is the guy Golden State does that can keep him more relevant. So. Yeah, but that's what I was saying, man. When you look at it, because Philadelphia was a team that said, "Hey, Paul George, you look good entrenched between Tyrese Maxey and Embiid," and he's like, "I'm going to stay on the West Coast." So, what do you do if you're Philadelphia and you want that? You start shifting your focus toward the Pels and BI, and see if you can get BI to be the guy to play with Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Now, the only thing is, they might have some draft picks, but they don't have much else, and we want an asset. So a third team more than likely is going to have to get involved in the trade if that was going to happen with Philadelphia, because they don't have nothing we want. Now that we even landed Dejounte Murray, they weren't giving up Tyrese Maxey anyway. So the third team would have to get involved with a Pelicans Sixer trade. So if that was a real thing, but like I said, we'll see, man. A lot of stuff is popping and snapping, man. We'll see what's going on. All right, Todd with facts said they don't need to create his own shot. Just being a spot up threat and attacking closeouts is enough to make the offense work. I'm more concerned with his mental lapses on defense. 504 Coach says DC and Q. What's the word on Jimmy Butler? Is it possible BI and some picks for Jimmy? Haven't heard anything. Butler.
I don't think Jimmy going nowhere, man. Miami look like they running it back. They about to give Bam Adebayo, who I would love to trade Brandon Ingram for.
Yeah, they gave him his money.
A max contract. So I think they go ahead and extend Jimmy for like 2 or 3 years, man, a short extension. And keep on rocking. I don't see why they change it now. Then they got Khalil where they drafted. I'm sure they're gonna go after some free agent or something. Miami always trying to do something to shake it up. Then you gotta watch their other draft picks and their undrafted guys. They do really good building their team there. So I think they're just going to stay the course and keep doing, what they've been doing. Jimmy for BI, it's interesting, but really looking at it and thinking about it, man, I don't know if I want to do that. It's if we were like a Jimmy Butler away from a championship, then I would say yes. But I don't think that's what we are right now, man. And yeah, I can't get that image out of my head either, Q. I hear a dog, but
boy,
he looking like a poodle right there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that was a weird look when Jimmy did those pictures, man. It's like, yeah, this, that, and the third. I was like, yeah, let's keep it pushing there. We keep it moving, brother. We got to keep it moving.
My family, Terry Ross right here, man. He said, I hear the Pistons are shopping Isaiah Stewart. He's switchable, he blocks shots, and he plays bully ball too. How do we feel about Isaiah Stewart?
Well, I like Isaiah Stewart, man. He fits with Willie. And the Pelicans
Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey. I just can't believe they would give up on the
Jaden Ivey.
Some picks. I mean, for BI, like how else you gonna?
You got to match
Isaiah Stewart.
I don't know what Isaiah's.
Who else you want from over there?
I don't know how much Isaiah Stewart making for them to. And then they cap situation. They do well. They don't. You might because they have cap space.
You gotta give me something. They just went got Tim Hardaway Jr. Yes. They went and did that. So I mean. I don't think they want to just bring back BI and take on all this cap. They're going to want to offload it probably with at least a few more dollars. You probably come back with 3 guys and it's just sending him over.
Yeah, there
Isaiah
was.
Stewart can't be making more than what, 17 a year,
I'm looking it
16,
up.
something like that.
Yeah, but
Might
that's
be
what
less than that. Might be 13.
they got cap space though. I know they had at one time they had $60 million in cap. Detroit had. So I don't know what it is now after they made the trade to bring your boy over there. But yeah, he got a 4-year deal at $60 million.
Yeah,
So
that's nothing, man. So
15,
I mean, he's
15 a year.
yeah, big V money. But my only thing about Isaiah Stewart, I like him, man. But it's like
Get hurt a lot.
thinking about it, it's the same thing you guys are saying with Zion starting at center. You know, we got Wemby, you got Gobert, we got Zach Edey, who nobody ain't mentioned. Man, we got a lot of big guys we got to go up against, and Isaiah Stewart 6'8".
Yeah.
You know, the
No.
tallest person on our team right now is Misi's at 7 foot, and after that, everybody's guess what? 6'8". It's probably the tallest guy you got, and that's Bi. No, I guess you could say Trey down there 6'10", 6'9". Trey Murphy, your tallest player on your team. I mean, that's good for the forward spot, but when you get to centers and you know your power forward spot, man, we need some more height.
Yeah, you definitely that, man. I mean, we got a 7-footer in Misi, but and then everybody else, I think that he's the tallest guy you got right now. Then you have, even if you have Mekovic is what, 6'10". So I mean, yeah. We'll I mean, but like I said, it's still early.
Mekovic technically ain't on the team right now, Big Q. So
Yeah.
is he going back overseas for another year? They didn't like what they saw.
No, Mekovic is he's on the Birmingham squad. He's gonna be on the Beham squadron.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be developing
Him and Misi's, man. We get the Twin Towers, huh?
I said they'd let him develop. They said we didn't like the second round pick we had last year. Didn't work out too well for us, and EJ Liddell. So that was a really promising selection, and EJ Liddell ended up being a part of the trade. To bring
I think that was us, man. Messing that up. It's horrible that guy was on the team last year and Willie didn't find any spots to like try to use him to see what he could do, like at all. It just looked crazy. It would have been, you know, a little more comforting to see him try to soar and fail than we got rid of him. What if he turns into something in Atlanta, bro? And he was just a throw-in piece. But I wouldn't bet on it. But it's just like, man, we get a lot of these rookies that are promising, and I think we do a poor job with developing them sometimes. Like, we got a few guys that we can hang our hat on, but can we really take credit for Jose, Trey Murphy, and Herb, or were those guys already who they were? Did we make them that? Because when I look at everybody else, I mean, we didn't really turn anybody into anything. Jordan Hawkins right now, we holding him back.
Hell, Trey Murphy too. Man,
you call that development? So it's
you gotta let him go, bro. You can't be trapped. You can't. And they said that. Look, we got assets. You collected all of these first round draft picks.
What if Dice turned into a baller?
Then he turns into a baller. When they because they was looking at Dyson Daniels because he was like a Lonzo Ball type of. He was a Lonzo Ball type in their minds. Remember the season?
They didn't even try to use him that way. I don't think he was ready to be that, but they didn't even try to use him that way. We didn't do anything to help him develop that either, is my point.
His offensive game wasn't there. That's the bottom line. His defense was there, and it got better before his offense did. But, you know, and they knew that going into it, that his offensive game was behind his defensive game, and they still took him high. But the summer before, they were looking at Lonzo Ball, like they wanted a big guard that can run the team, that can facilitate and play defense and occasionally shoot a 3-point shot. So, I mean, and then what changed about it was the pressure from the faithful, because they were like, okay, you got to a point now, is Dyson Daniels ready to step in as your number one point guard? People are like, hell no, he ain't ready. Well, what you going to do? We got to go out and find a point guard to run the team, because the pressure is on. The pressure of being more competitive in the Southwest Division and in the Western Conference, all that's on. So that whole experiment was thrown out. So we had to package him and another player, some picks, and send him on to a guy that's ready to go right now. So ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got to hit the floor running, is what I'm saying, because they done wasted. It's been 5 years of this. 5 years, two playoff appearances is not good. 5 years, 2 playoff appearances in 5 years is not good. So you need a team that hitting the ground running right off the bat. You don't have no time for all this other stuff. They done wasted away their time frame. Now they've done it smarter with their decisions. We could have because that's the idea when you drafting Trey Murphy and Jordan Hawkins, that the first year or two they're not ready, but by that second year and that third year, you got to start allotting more time for them to play in these games so they can be able to get out there. Far too often I've seen Willie or whoever making the decisions to shoot these guys down to the G League. Then they go tear up the G League for 2 or 3 games, and then you bring them back and they just sit on the bench. That's not development. That's not development, Willie Green. And people can only see the floor if their defense is top notch, and he'll be patient with you on the offensive end. Very easy to figure out, Willie. You got to change that, bro, because you got offensive guys.
They're surrounding Willie, looks like, with offensive players.
That's
so he
what
don't
I
have
said.
a choice, bro. You better make a defender out of some of these offensive guys.
That's why
it's good to do that. It's just like, man,
why
we waited so long to come to that conclusion?
Hold on, DC. I told you that when people was having this discussion about is Willie Green going to be better this year? People were saying no, he wasn't. I was saying no, you got to change, but he's going to change because everything around him is changing. He's gonna have to. He's having shooters everywhere now. You have Zion Williamson as a centerpiece, and you got guys all around him that can shoot. That was the idea when they took Zion Williamson. They wanted to pair shooters all around him. That's not a secret. That's been some shit that's been going on since they took Zion Williamson, because they understood his gravity, even when he was a rookie coming into the NBA, what he can do. So you create space all around him by having shooters everywhere. This shit's not complicated. So when I said Willie's going to change, it's because I knew that the team was changing. The team is going away from his idea of like, we're going to have a Dyson Daniels with his defense ahead of his offensive game. Now you have a Jordan Hawkins his offensive game is ahead of his defensive game. So Willie can't do that dumb shit. He got to play these guys, develop them. He has to reverse his philosophy, and I think he's going to do that. That's the point. Either if he don't do it, his ass is out of here. Borrego's back. So keep playing. If he don't play and he don't change to the team, he gone. He gonna be out. He up out of here. We're not gonna let you waste away the second contract of Zion Williamson because of stupid stubbornness. We're not playing that. No player or coach is bigger than the team. If no fans, period. That's how I go. All right, DC, go ahead, bro. I ain't want to eat up your time, but go ahead, brother.
No. I mean, you good, man. You dropping that about Willie. You have been saying that, and that was my point. Also, is the same point as yours, except I'm looking at it from a different point of view. Willie's not actually improving. It's just the things around him that are going to improve that leads to the illusion of Willie improving.
Oh, come on, man.
Willie is not in control of them getting those players, man. We know who he wants, Q. So I can't give Willie credit for the team getting offensive guys and telling them, look, you figure out how to make the defense better.
So you sit up here thinking
that's a front office decision.
So David,
I gotta give Bryson Graham that credit, because Bryson Graham was up there talking about when we got Fred Vincent, we have an unfair advantage where we can draft defensive guys and get their shots together. So we look at guys that can do everything else but shoot and da 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 da. So Fred gone, and they pivoted real quick and got some shooters. That's front office, man. I can't give Willie that credit and say he getting better. If they put the players there to make him play where he can't mess up his rotations, is that him really getting better? Or did we just improve the team and the fit of the team around Zion?
Man, get out of here. Willie Green's a part of the process to get these players in here.
Man, Willie Green, for all we know, could be just like Stan Van Gundy. They asked him about the draft, and he was shaking like a leaf, man. You don't never hear Willie saying nothing about no draft and the players we gonna go get. You don't hear him say anything about that.
Willie Green is involved in that process. He's not on some Stan Van Gundy nonsense. They knew that
How you
didn't
know?
work. What you mean? How we know? Willie Green
How
is.
you know?
I know.
I
I
know.
just said it. I know.
I know he ain't.
Or you don't know he ain't. Prove it. Prove
Because
he
if
ain't.
Willie Green was involved in the process, we would have traded up for with your boys who went to Detroit. We would have traded up for Ron Ops. We would have got Ryan Dunn if Willie Green was in the process, bro.
Nah, man. I do think that Willie Green is involved in the process
They
of
asked
selecting.
him about Dejounte Murray. I'm pretty sure they asked him about that.
I'm saying,
can you make Trae Young work?
if you got Bryson Graham is not going to, maybe David Griffin would on some levels, but a lot of that's changed. Like I said, the Pelicans, and this is just my
What's
personal.
the difference between David Griffin and Bryson Graham?
Well, let me get to that. Let me say this, and I'll get to that. What I'm going to say is the Pelicans learn, but they learn by the process of elimination. That's what that's what I've been recognizing. My personal vantage point of the Pelicans since covering them and doing the Pelican Postgame Report for all these years. Since David Griffin's been here and he's been running this organization, they learn by process of elimination. They do learn, but they have to make a series of mistakes and then they cross them out and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's go to the next thing. That's my feel on it. And what happened with Stan Van Gundy, that was all David Griffin. That was a disaster because it hurt the Pelicans. We couldn't get an expensive coach who had a championship ring or a guy that was more experienced, that knew how to run the team. We had to settle for a coach that was very inexpensive, and he had to take on the prior coaches, most of his assistant coaches, because the Pelicans didn't want to fire them and owe them money, and they had to pay a whole new staff. That's the kind of craziness we're talking about. But in the end, not to address your point, your initial question, which was, wait, hold on, let me finish that before I get to that. Bryson Graham, that's the thing I wanted to say. I don't think Bryson Graham is cutting out Willie Green. I think Bryson Graham is including Willie Green in these decisions, and I think that's smart. And Bryson Graham taking over the general manager position, he wants everybody involved in the process.
So us getting all these guys that can't shoot and play defense, that wasn't Willie Green, but us getting shooters now is Willie Green, right?
I say everything. They all working together. That's what I'm saying. They are all working together to make it better, because in the end, it's all about getting to it's the common shared thought, and this is among the flock and everybody else, no matter what level of basketball acumen that you have, everybody understands for this to work, you have to maximize Zion Williams' potential. That's what it comes down to. You have to maximize his potential. How do you do that? You got to be able to create space for Zion to work and know that his gravity is going to activate, where guys are going to, shooters all around him will get open looks, and it goes from there. So everybody knows that. And I think Willie and Bryson, these guys, and Swin and all of them are in connection. I ain't going to say lockstep because I ain't going to use that dumbass word, but I'm going to say in connection, in harmony, in synergy with the idea that, hey, man, we have to make sure that we put the right people around him, the shooters around him, to be able to maximize his potential. And with that, then you think that will lead the team to another level. That's what I'm seeing. And that's what I'm thinking that what's happening with Willie Green, for real. So that's why when I seen that, I said, when I knew they were changing and doing all this stuff and bringing the shooters and doing that, I already knew what time it was. That's why I didn't agree with you when you said he ain't going to change. Oh, he ain't going to be no better, Q. He just changing.
What did Willie Green change?
Hold on, let me get my imitation about you out.
There you go. You pulling out your you back at it again, huh?
No, I'm saying you said this.
Big Q back on this bullshit.
No, I'm saying you said this. You said, man, Willie Green, if he go improve, he gonna only improve because of the people around him. What?
Exactly.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying he's going to improve. Improvement is improvement.
No, that's not improvement. That ain't him improving, Q.
What are you talking about?
That's better players around him, better assistants around him, better front office moves. Isn't Willie Green improving? Man, hey, what's up, Lex? Lex, come on in here and talk some sense to you, boy.
This is the
Talk some sense
DC.
to you, boy. Lex.
I'm trying to catch what y'all talking about right
I
now,
keep
but I'm
trying
gonna
to
let
tell
y'all
him
finish.
Willie still ain't learned how to use his
Oh
timeouts,
no!
and it's been
Oh
3
no!
years.
Oh
Big
no!
Q,
Hold
for
on!
some
Chill out!
reason, believes
He hasn't
Willie
learned
is
how to
going
do
to
what?
improve.
No!
He
Hold
ain't
on!
learned how
Don't
to use his timeouts, and it's been 3 years. His
hold
timeouts
on!
and challenges. He still
Look,
ain't figured
that
it out.
and his challenges.
Hold on, Lex. Now see
And
I,
Big
that's
Q say he going to improve.
hold on, DC. Now that's a underhanded move.
Dejounte Murray going to improve, and we're going to look smart out there.
Now that's an underhanded
Got
move.
nothing to do with it.
That's an underhanded move you tried right there,
Hey,
and I'm
man, that's the truth, man.
gonna call you out on
You
that
keep
because
talking about Willie improving. The
why you
stuff
talking?
around Willie is improving, Big Q.
No,
It
hold
can
on.
lead to more wins and a team looking better out there. That don't mean Willie is improving.
Man, at the end of the day, Willie Green is the head coach. Let's get this straight. Willie, I mean, first of all, let me call you out
Man,
on
you
something.
part of the give him credit team. Go get one of them give him credit
oh
shirts.
wow.
See, there you go. There you go. See, that's underhanded because I know what you're trying to do.
You the one tap dancing today.
Now you're trying to trigger
You
Lex.
getting your Gregory Hines on.
Trying to trigger Lex because you asked her that stupid ass question when she came in because
I
she's
didn't
like,
ask her no stupid question.
hold on.
I just want to hear somebody talk with some damn sense about Willie Green. When it comes to Willie Green, you get delusional for some reason.
Hold on. DC came in when Lex came and said, I'm trying to see what y'all talking about. And then DC,
You got a lot of compassion for Willie Green, Big Q.
he automatically pivot to adjustments, which is a sticking point that Lex always hits on. So he was trying to trigger Lex to jump on Willie right away. Then he pivots to another talking point that Lex is concrete on. That's a very sneaky, underhanded way of conducting this.
Hey, that ain't
Stop
no sneaky
using me,
underhanded way
DC.
of doing nothing.
Stop
Somebody
using me,
needs to
man.
tell you.
Don't
Somebody
do
needs
that
to tell
to
you the
me.
truth.
Y'all heard what DC tried to do right there. He trying
Now,
to bring.
DC ain't tried to do nothing. DC told the truth.
No, DC sit up here trying to trigger people. That's what the hell he trying to do. That's what he's trying to do.
Live and direct, man. Currently, DC told the truth.
No damage control like a sum gun.
Hey, they ain't controlling no damage.
Hold
That ain't no
on.
damage to control. That's making damage. You
All
up
right.
there playing damage control. Let me
No,
find
I'm
out Willie Green is sponsoring the show. I want extra money on my check, bro.
Hold on.
Hey,
I
me
ain't
too.
gotta be that much because I know
Me
Willie
too.
Green ain't
Hey,
getting you a lot.
now you
It's
speaking
kinda
my
cheap.
language. Yes,
Hold
It's
on.
kind of cheap, so I know he ain't getting you a lot.
No,
But
hold
we
on.
do need a raise.
I second that motion.
All right. So see, there you go again, working this magic. You heard
We
that?
all need raises. Look.
All right. So listen, all I'm saying with the Willie Green thing is you're trying to take away the fact that he will improve. It's still his job at the end of the day. He's still the guy that's running and controlling the team and the guy that will decide who plays and who don't. Now you have Borrego coming back. He took himself out of the coaching decision, but it's still Willie Green's ultimate. He's the final decision maker on the court. So if he in the whole team is changing. So I'm not going to sit up here and deny Willie's going to get better. And you saying everything around him is getting better because he's getting better probably.
No, I said Willie will improve marginally, Q, because
nice marginal.
Wait, hold on. The Super Bowl is coming down here this year, and New Orleans got to fix a lot of potholes on the road. So he's gonna change his direction that he drives to the arena. That's a major improvement.
Man, you trolling, bro. Willie Green decides to get on the court for the Pelicans, and what roster and rotations happen. That's what happened.
We need to pull off some trades then, because we got too many good players now. You gonna mess that up?
Nah, the man ain't gonna mess it up, man. Willie gonna be all right. All right. Anyway, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Shout out to Lex popping in, man. Dropping in here. Much love. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. Lex, what we talking about?
Mo Universe giving you a shout out, Big Q.
Okay, Mo Q. All right. He said, let's be civil at the PPR
y'all
barbecue.
been cutting up this whole time, haven't y'all?
No, that's just DC crazy.
No, we was chilling until he talking about Willie Green. It was actually funny, Lex. I think I channeled the spirit of Lex because when he talked about Willie Green, I lost it.
No, you trying to trigger the spirit of Lex. That's what you're trying to do. All right,
see what happened when you don't come here, Lex? I gotta hold up to your talking point.
Oh, man. Wow, for real.
This dude here
playing. We missed you.
You know what? Look, a lot of birthday parties, man. You know, it's birthday weekend, you know, so.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate
Sound
you.
like a lot of fun. Happy birthday to whoever that is. I don't know him, but happy birthday anyway.
All right. We got BJL Contreras, aka the sports entertainment guy. representing, giving a shout out to PPR all the way from the South Bronx. Shout out to you, my brother, for being there representing the Pale Nation. We appreciate you for chiming in. Thank you. And thank you to all the family members chiming in. Lex, me and DC done wasted enough time talking mess. I'm open the floor
Man,
for
I
you.
ain't wasting no time. You the one brought up that delusional ass talking point.
It wasn't a bad delusional talking point. That was
It's
actually
delusional, Q.
on the
We
way
got better players.
takes a different approach
We
around
got better players, so we're supposed to be better.
But isn't he a
That don't mean Willie Green gonna improve.
Willie will improve because he would change for the team. That's what I was saying. You can't deny
Man,
him.
we got a point guard now. We got somebody who can wave him off, man.
DC, please.
So when the offense look better, you gonna say Willie did that?
I'm gonna say that the team he's the head coach of the team. He was a part of it. He's a part of the progress. You can't deny him that. Lex, please. You have the floor. Enough of DC and his crazy pineapple talk. You have the floor.
Oh man, get out of here, man.
Look, we know that just because you got the player personnel doesn't mean that you necessarily improve. He still has to show the fan base, like everybody, that he's able to do this. Okay, you got the players, you got a point guard. Now you have to learn your personnel. You have to get better sets together. We know that we've had problems with his sets, his adjustments, his timeouts, his challenges, the rotations, having the right groups on the floor at a time. But he's going to have to show that. To just say it right now, because in 3 years, he didn't show that. We've been in the same spot as far as getting to the play-in, being a borderline play-in team, and then a first round exit. But I know everybody's excited, and it's easy to jump on. Oh, we got this team together, but there's still other parts to the whole team and everything that you have to do. The coaching has to be right. It has to be right. You got the players, but if you're not familiar with your personnel enough to put them in the right situation with all this talent on the team, and we've seen that. We've had talent on this team all of last season. And you know what? We saw a lot of situations where, why did Willie put that lineup out? We ask those questions all the time. So to just kind of, at this moment, to say that, hey, Willie's going to make changes, I got to see that first. Because Willie has been the same Willie he was 3 years ago. I don't feel like it's been, if he has improved, guess what? He regressed in that same breath, because one game he showed improvement, and then a game later or 2 games later, he regressed, going back to the same things that were not working. We've seen that time and time again. You have to get to the point where you are playing chess and not checkers. His counter moves with the opponent team, they haven't been where they need to be at. Like when the opponent coach is making a change, or when the opponent team, when they're doing something different, you got to counter that, man. You got to counter that. You can't continue to do the same things that are not working and expecting different results. That's crazy. So, he's got to show that first. I mean, it's nice that, Dejounte's on the team, but you still got to keep things in perspective. We had a talented team last season. Jonas, he wasn't used for most of the season. We saw that Jordan Hawkins, he wasn't out there a lot of times. He had a few 30-point games the first half of the season, and then the second half, we didn't see him a whole lot. And it's funny because there were moments where we really did need that shooting. So it'll be interesting to see, how he uses these players, because now we have more shooting. You have a defensive running big. You got Dejounte Murray, who is a two-way player, and that's great. But now that you have all this talent, Willie is not going to have any excuse. He's not going to have any excuse. You picked out your coaching staff. You have a more talented team just by adding Dejounte Murray, as well as the rookies. You got another shooter, and then you got the big that you wanted. Now it's up to you to put all this stuff together. You got to put it together. And we haven't seen that yet. He did not know how to use Jonas, which is really sad because, I mean, Jonas is a skilled big man. But you have to know how to use a skilled big man that lacks athleticism and that lacks, the foot speed. But yeah, he's gonna have to put all that stuff together. It's great that we have the talent, more talent. But yeah, you got work to do. You got to figure out more plays that accommodate the team and all that stuff. I mean, there's work to be done.
Yeah, I agree, Lex. I definitely agree that Willie Green, the emphasis is on all of them to step it up. The trades and all that, how the team crashed and burned in the playoffs, despite all the injuries. It's just the last 5 years have not been a very good look by the Pelicans organization. 5 years, 2 playoff appearances. That's not success, man. So that's why people are not paying attention to the 49 wins or whatever the case may be with the 0-4 flapping out of the playoffs. So yeah, it's definitely they all have to get better. So we put a team on the court with Dejounte Murray and whoever we get for BI, and ultimately see if we can get CJ off the team and bring in some of these other guys like Trey and Jordan and develop them into solid starters for us. We could be doing something positive as opposed to all this money that we fitting out for CJ McCollum, 33 and a third, and it escalates in his final season. So yeah, we done tried the strategy. It didn't work as well as we would want it. Now we have to move in a different direction is what we're doing. So yeah, I still say all of them have to improve. Everything has to get better. Everybody has to get smart. They do. If you're gonna yeah, I'm sorry. Everybody, we all got to get. We all have to get in that world where we all get to the position where we all good, we all better. In terms of the coach, everybody else, Willie Green has to get smarter and faster with his adjustments, everything. I agree with all that. But like I said, I think a lot of you I don't think it's like people saying it's going to be a quantum leap. You see Willie is going to be a total different guy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying incremental improvement. There's nothing wrong with incremental improvement, fam. Really is. There's nothing wrong with being incremental because that's what we do every day anyway, right? We wake up and want to be at least 1 or 2% better than we were yesterday. Incremental change and improvement every day. Little steps end up into big steps, right? Into big change. So I mean that's my philosophy on it. And however DC with his crazy pineapple talk want to kick it, it's all good, man. Judah says Willie isn't the greatest X and O's coaches, but he has the buy-in from all of his players. He's a leader, and that's what matters most in the head coaching ranks. Thank you, Judah, for that. Appreciate you for chiming in.
I got that from Brandon.
All right, Louisiana boy says, have you seen this team? Zion never makes the playoffs, and Ingram hobbles in barely, and there are other injuries. Indeed, that's why they're breaking the core up and changing things up. Now you got and you got to remember too, like he played a lot of games this past season, and why was that a thing where we seen a big change with that? Because the Pelicans the offseason before, they brought in a physical therapist, and a physical therapist made a big difference. The physical therapist made a difference to the team. Remember, and then preface that by the previous years, like when we had Brandon Ingram stubbed his toe, hit his toe on the back of the guy's shoe and was out for 30 games. He stubbed his toe. And he was missing for 30 games or something like that, or three months, something like that. It was crazy. But you have somebody in there that know how to deal with issues like that. It helped the team better. So that was another one of them things I told you all about. Like they learned by, okay, this didn't work. Let's scratch this out and put this here. They are making the moves, but it's like making mistakes and then make the mistakes, slash that out, then make you see what I'm saying? They doing that kind of stuff. And like I said, I think David Griffin to me is not as good as people think he is because of the decisions, the moves that he's made since he's not as good as they framing him up out to be. That's why you saw that.
With all the decisions and since Griffin's been here, how many mistakes would you say he's made?
Oh shit. I would have to man, quite a few of them.
Well, how many? Give me a number.
We put a number
7,
on it?
8, 9, 10.
Well over 30.
Dang.
Yeah, it's been a
Okay.
bunch of.
All
It's
right.
been
So, okay. So listen, he got Dejounte Murray. He's 1-30.
I think Dejounte Murray count for at least 10.
For real.
So he got 3 more moves like that to make everybody forget.
3 more. Shoot.
I mean, that's a big move. You get
Yeah,
Dejounte Murray, a guy who we
you had
thought we
his
would have to
losses. You
trade
had his
Brandon
losses
Ingram
better
to
than
get.
me because I was gonna say about like 8 or something, like 8 or 10.
No. I said if he could pull off 3 more Dejounte Murray moves, then everybody would be singing his praises. But
because he was
if
like,
he pulls off 8, positive moves consecutively, I give you that, Lex. But I mean, it'd be hard to kind of top the Dejounte Murray move, man. If
no, because I mean, to get to this point, he made a lot of mistakes.
I mean, basically, we're back where we were in 2019 when he should have drafted Darius Garland. We're just getting back to that. If we would have took the Darius Garland, like we wouldn't have needed Dejounte Murray.
I don't know about. Well, I mean,
it depends. I'm not sure, but I get what you're saying. I mean,
crazy pineapple talk. Got crazy pineapple talk. That's DC new podcast, y'all. Crazy pineapple talk. She start prattling on. That's what DC does. Crazy pineapple talk.
Yeah, what? Somebody said trade Lonzo for marketing instead of getting Saturansky.
You got that too.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's a lot of mistakes he made. Like he could have made better decisions. So Dejounte, he's here, but I'm like, dog, you still gonna have to show some consistency because in all the 5 years that you've been here, you've been making more mistakes than you've done, in the win column. So,
yeah, and if you had a more of a bulldog head owner of the team, he'd be gone by now. 5 years is in many people's minds. A lot of times, 5 years, especially if you're a person that had Dale Demps down here. Dale Demps spent way too much time down here. He should have been gone. He didn't know what he was doing. Even it took the late great Commissioner Stern to this guy is the worst general manager in the NBA. That's what he said about Dale Demps. We was saying that for years in the dumbass New Orleans organization, sitting up there with him and proud, smiling from one ear to the other. So I mean, if you have a bulldog owner who wants to win and wants to win championships and have that mentality, the team would vibrate and move differently than what it does. Mm-hmm. But like I said, David Griffin gets the Dejounte Murray thing, but we got to finish this up. I'm not celebrating this at all. Yeah. It's a good move, but we got to finish this up. There's still a lot of stuff to happen here.
And when I saw that, that's what I felt the same way. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to jump out my seat and celebrate and run around. Like, there's still work to be done. The Pelicans still need a big man. You know what I'm saying? It's either you need a big man or are you going to start, what's his name? Missy. Because right now, he's the only certified big man that's on the Pelicans right now. And let me tell y'all something. We need size.
Yeah.
The Pelicans need size. Like, I know Willie Green is in love with that small ball, but that's not always the answer. And we saw that in a lot of situations. That's not the answer. So, I mean, I know you put up the survey up in the chat.
Right.
On as far as keeping or trading Brandon, I still feel like we need to trade him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the Pelicans still need a big man. Like, who's going to start? And I hope, because right now I still feel like, and I hope this is not the mindset of Willie Green, but I really don't want them to get locked in as far as Zion playing that 5, because that's crazy. No, for real, because remember in media day last season when Willie Green was like, yeah, we're going to put Zion at the 5, I was like, no. Actually, a whole bunch of people were like, that didn't even make sense. Why would you put a 6'6" dude? I don't care what your leaping ability is. to have him down there at that small by 5, and that's what I'm kind of afraid that in his mind, that's what he's thinking about, because he's already brought that out on media day from last season. So I hope
think they're looking at the Warriors, Lex, and what they were able to do with Steph Curry, Clay, Iguodala.
DC, I know, and that's not the way he needs to be.
Who they had before they had Durant in that spot? I think it's Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green. So
Zion
and
is
that was the debt
Draymond
lineup.
Green. He is not a Draymond Green.
He's a supercharged Draymond Green. Lex, how dare you say
that? No, and that is a horrible comparison. That's a disrespect to Zion's game. That's a horrible mentality that you would have if you looking at him like that. That's what
I look at him as Giannis, and I've seen Milwaukee do that and have major success, putting Giannis at the center position, and they blew teams out the water. There was no answer for it, but I don't see it as something that's sustainable that you can do for the whole game, or you can do every
Willie,
game.
You know he was in love with Larry Nance.
Willie let them trade Larry. He's changing, according to Big Q. He's changing.
No, I'm saying that
the love of his life ain't on his team no more. He need to fall in love with Zion.
Putting him at the 5. He would even sit Jonas in the second half. That's crazy. Yeah. And I know, hey, once a dude's been around for a while, you start to understand his mindset. He loves the small ball 5. He loves that jump. And if he does that, and we know that he likes to do it in long stretches, because he did it with Larry. And he talked about that with Zion on media day, because everybody was questioning that. Reporters were questioning that. They even asked Zion after they interviewed Willie about that. And Zion was like, Willie said he's going to play me at the 5. And you know what I'm saying? They hesitated. And basically Zion was like, look, I'm a basketball player. I'm able to, have an effect on anywhere on the court, but to have me strictly at the 5, I don't know about that one, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. Willie, man, he's I don't know about that dude, but I you can understand his mentality when looking at this whole thing. So, like I said, I just hope the Pelicans get a true big man. You cannot teach size. You still need size in this league.
Shout out to family members out here and listen to the stream. Shout out to TK Nola. Shout out to your brother. We need an offense or constant movement, pace, smart play, closing fourth and knocking down threes. The only person available that does this is Klay Thompson. Thank you.
Not bad.
DC does not agree with that, but thank you for your super chat, though. CK 2K. Thank you, brother. All right, for the family members out there, man, we had the poll up over 200.
I pass. I like Klay. I just the amount of money that you gotta pay Klay, man, it ain't worth it.
DC
Klay's not the same guy.
I'm not playing an old Klay Thompson $25-30 million, man. I'm not doing it.
Thank you, 2K.
That's probably what somebody gonna pay him.
Hold on, DC, just a second, sir. All right, for the poll question, man, should we trade BI or keep him after the Murray trade? We about to end that poll, but 59% of the pollers says we trade him against 41%. So that was a good poll right there. We're about to pop up another one in a minute for the family members to chime in as well. So appreciate y'all on that, man. DC, back to you, brother. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Lex's point. I agree with we do need size with Edie, Wemby. You got to deal with those two dudes now. And there's some reports Memphis is trying to get Clint Capella. They looking at another center. So you definitely need size. But what I also, I guess, disagree with, Zion at the center position not viewing it as the center position though. Just you putting your 5 best guys out there at a stretch during the game, the way you seen the Warriors do, some reiteration of that in our own way. I think it would be completely intelligent to do, and to try to force teams to adapt or conform to you. That's the one thing that has pissed me off with this Pels team for a while. A lot of times, like when we first discovered the point Zion thing, and we were forcing teams to adapt to us, and then we go away from it. It's like things to our advantage or things to get creative where we're not always back on our heels. We don't always do. So I would be an advocate of them using it as a lineup, but to run that like, and I brought this point up earlier, Lex, because we were looking at the lineup and what they had, and I'm like, man, you got Bi, you got Herb, you got Ingram, you got Zion, you got CJ, you got Dejounte. We can't expect 2 of these guys to go to the bench. So what we gonna do? We're gonna play Zion at center. If you don't, this is it hypothetically if you don't move off of Ingram, right? Or CJ. And you looking at it, it's like, man, that's crazy. But I could see them try to do something like that, possibly. I would love to see the lineup to see what it looks like, but it's not sustainable for a full season against every team because you got a team with some really big guys, man. You know that they'll obliterate that, or they'll just cause Zion to get in foul trouble and foul him out the game. You know, but I could see them doing something similar to what the Warriors did at the end of the game, to where you blitz them with that lineup, man, and just catch people off balance and maximize what you can do. I think that would be the intelligent way to do it. But you know, I see your point too, because Willie finds some stuff with the small ball, man, and he gets
And he falls in
asphyxiated
love
on
with
it.
it.
He don't want to use it the
Hey,
way it's intended. Like it's supposed to
you
be in
saw
spurts. It's not
you
supposed to
saw
be all game.
you saw how he used Nance, man. He was in love with it.
Yeah.
He was to the death with that, man. Even when Larry Nance got off his injury, man, he played that dude like 40 minutes. Like, dog, he just got back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're gonna wear
Larry could take
like,
it, Lex. He could take it.
no. When you're playing down low, you are bumping. It's physical down there. All them hits. And then you 6'9", you down there with the trees, man. You already that's why it's called a small 5. Like that, especially coming off of an injury, that's crazy. You don't want you don't want you don't want him to last. And that's the only thing, because even with the point Zion, I don't want the team to go away from that. I don't want the team to go away from that. I think, I mean, we saw that it does work. One thing with Dejounte, now that he's here, I think with his purpose is all the times that we have problems down the stretch in games. That's when it's like, well, look, Zion can't, if Zion's, the only one creating out there or has things going at the end of the game, it's like there's nobody else who's a threat on the court. Because we've seen where CJ didn't show up. We've seen where Brandon didn't show up. Or, when the pressure was on, they didn't know what to do. It was chaos out there. So now for the last stretch of the game, that's when you actually have someone, because what we need is that Spurs Dejounte. Because that's what he was doing a whole lot at the Spurs. Not Atlanta Dejounte. We need the Spurs Dejounte.
What do you mean exactly by that? Because there's some things in Atlanta that he actually improved on tremendously, such as his 3-point shooting and his catch 3-point shooting tremendously. He moved that all the way up to 45%. But you're talking about him being more of a facilitator, basically, right, with the Spurs?
Yeah, I mean,
and not maximizing his scoring.
Yeah, well, no, we had that too. We want him to be a threat with scoring, but the thing is that facilitation really calming the offense, running the offense, being able to perform under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Down the stretch when it's a close game and making the right decisions, getting everybody in their spots. But I don't mind the shooting. The shooting is great. But it's down the stretch where Dejounte becomes even more valuable because he has the ability to do that. That's why we brought him up in here. That's why we've been talking about, hey, we need a point guard, because that's what a point guard does. Hey, let's slow down. Let's calm down. We're good. We down 2-3 points. Let's set up the offense. You know, we don't have that guy that like CJ who starts dancing or fumbling the basketball, or, you know, guys don't know who to pass it to or whatever. But Dejounte, he's there to make sure that all that stuff doesn't happen. And he did that very well at the Spurs. And that's the only reason why I said that. Now, when Trae Young, when he was sitting down, you know, Dejounte resumed his same duties like he did at the Spurs. We saw him perform very well.
Yeah, he got an on and off switch with Lexxah. I've been watching him, and I love his mentality. And then when you look at his story and what he came from, Dejounte was a kid who was running the streets, man. He was selling dope at 13. You know, he said Jamal Crawford found him when he was a sophomore and kind of talked him into being serious about basketball. And since then, he just looks like he's been a consummate professional. You know, he went to the Spurs, got taught how to play the game the right way. He has extreme versatility. He can do a little bit of everything. And he's a winner. He tries to do what's necessary to win. Like, I see games where Dejounte's out there. He's scoring like the number one option. Yeah. And I'm like, man, you don't look like a point guard. Then I see another game, and it's like he could easily get a layup here, a dunk here, and he's just dishing it off to his teammates. You know, like, he has a well-rounded game, and he can kind of figure out what's needed in the lineup, and he fits in, and he can just bring what's needed. You know what I'm saying? It's weird that it didn't work with Trae Young, but I don't think it's a fault of his own that it didn't work. And I also don't think he had this major regression defensively. I just look at Atlanta as being bad overall defensively. And Dejounte Murray was always kind of like a team defender to me. He's good on ball, but they got people that on ball that's better than him. But he knows what the scheme is, and he knows where he needs to send people, and he'll be good in that way. Like, but him just on the island by himself, nah, he ain't that. So I think we're gonna see him be able to go back to that version of what you're talking about in the Spurs, of how we actually like to play, especially on the defensive end. And
my bad. Go on.
I'm wrapping it up. I'm gonna let you get to it. And his facilitation, I think, is gonna come natural, because there will be moments when he'll have his chance to, you know, be that other version of himself, because we're gonna need him to be that. And looking at his skill set, I really think that's why we're going to trade BI. Everything BI does, for the most part, Dejounte can do too. He can hit tough shots from mid-range just like BI. He can prove he can hit three-pointers. You know, he can facilitate and pass the ball, and he plays better defense, even though he's smaller. So it's like, it's kind of the writing's on the wall if you're looking at it from that point, or would the Pels just, you know, like to have, what's the Spider-Man emoji? Well, they both point at each other. Because their skill sets do overlap. But Dejounte is extremely versatile, and I think he can make it work. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's more polished. Obviously, he takes more threes. I think he's a smarter player.
He only took more threes 1 year than B.I. Lexxah. It's just that one last year.
Hey, you as good as your last hit, right? No, for real. I mean,
get up, stand up.
That's really good. I mean, I'm just saying. But I think one of the biggest thing, Big Sean, he kind of beat me to it. But he's a Popovich pedigree, and I really like that. Yeah, I mean, I know we say Spurs, but we got to go even further and be like, hey, he got that Popovich pedigree.
I like
that. The Pelicans.
10,000 gigawatts.
Let me ask you. Shout out to the fam. I forgot who asked the question. I think it was Was it Stephanie? One of the family members. I'm sorry if I didn't get you correctly. Pelicans Nolan, I think, asked the question: did the Pelicans sign a big? The only big that the Pelicans signed recently, right now, and I just did a check, was the guy we talked about, Jason Adoro, who's 6'9", 230 plus, from Providence. 16 points a game, 7.5 rebounds on 53% shooting from the field. Now, the other two guys they signed were a guard and a wing, Jermaine Corson. I want to say his name is Kusnard. I'm sorry. Kusnard, 6'4", 190 plus pounds, average 16.6 points per contest on 44% shooting from the field, 4.6 on his rebounds, 3.3 on his assists. And then Keon Brooks Jr. A lot of people like Keon Brooks Jr. game. He's 6'7", 210, averaged over 21 points per contest with 7 rebounds, 2 assists on 45.3% shooting from the field. So that is a couple of the undrafted guys that the Pelicans signed. If you guys want to read the article, go to whothatdaily.com in the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans section, and Rail put that up. So shout out. Also, 2K Nola had an interesting question. He says, would Klay Thompson fit better than CJ on our roster? Now that's intriguing. It's interesting. We talked about that, Lex, how the Thunder were cooking CJ McCollum in that playoff series. So Klay Thompson is what the 2K is asking about. What do you think?
How well, I guess that doesn't matter, but yeah. I think Klay would be a better option than CJ. I know the last game he went like 0 for 10 or something like that. But one thing I do know is that Klay has he's shown up in a lot of big games. It seems like CJ has not really done that for the Pelicans. I mean, kudos to CJ for those regular season games, playing through injuries and things like that. But one thing that you have to have is showing up when it matters most. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have that star next to your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're considered a star. You're considered to be a part of that core. So if you have that by your name and that's what people see you as, but you don't show up in meaningful games, like the big games, the big stage games, that's a problem. That defeats the purpose of you having that label, that star label next to your name. Now, I don't know. That it's that part right there for me, is that part.
Yeah, that injury kind of definitely took a lot of his athleticism away. He's still 6'7", 220 plus pounds, but not much defensively. But he can still shoot the hell out of the ball. So somebody gonna give Klay Thompson a deal. There's several. I was looking at several rumor milled articles. Teams looking at possibly bringing Klay Thompson in from Dallas to, I don't know how that's gonna work, but they had a few other teams, so the lesser teams in the Eastern Conference, and a few other people that were mauling off the idea of bringing Klay Thompson on their squad. So anyway, shout out to the fam, man. We got the second poll up. It's been up for about 10 minutes right now. Is which big should the Pels trade for? And it's 4 options: Jared Allen, DeAndre Ayton, Nick Claxton, and Walker Kessler. That's the 4 options there. And so far, Jared Allen is running away with the poll. The family members is just they're saying, man, Jared Allen, 42% of the flock is saying Jared Allen. The closest to him is Walker Kessler at 25%. So boy, that's a big disparity there. And I jumped up to 43%. So for those who
they see the vision.
Be heard. If you guys haven't voted yet,
just follow the tea leaves, Q, as you would say, right?
Yeah,
with Dejounte Murray.
Yeah,
because I know that gets you shut up. Dejounte Murray, we've been linked to him, right? And we've been linked to Jared Allen. So
yes,
It's
So
a no-brainer. We gonna wind up with both of them, right?
I say, just brother, read the tea leaves, the pineapple skins, whatever you got to do.
You never say the pineapple. How you read pineapple skins?
I know.
Enlighten us all.
I asked you, brother. You cut the pineapple, then you take the skin off the pineapple.
Do you eat it? Do you eat the pineapple before you read the skins, or you read the skins before you eat the pineapple?
I'm asking you, brother. You
Hey, no, you said read the pineapple. You got to tell us how you do this shit.
I actually got that from you, DC.
Yeah, you didn't get that from me. I'm asking you how to do it.
And then you lied the other day talking about you never seen fried pineapples before, so I had to put a goddamn.
I
video.
haven't.
All right, okay. All right. So anyway,
I did have some mango, some spicy mango and pineapple salmon, but I ain't never seen it fried. It was in a curry.
Did you eat it in the sun?
It came from Chinese people, so no, unfortunately, I didn't.
When you ate that, did you get out in the sun?
I ate it at Suko Tao.
Did you eat it in the sun? Is what I'm asking.
I ate it at Suko Tao. This is a fine establishment off of St. Charles Street. They also have one on I think it's that Franklin.
Okay, cool.
Back in French Quarter, around Frenchman. Suko Tao. I was in there.
Appreciate you, DC. I just asked, did you eat it outside?
The building was in the sun, but I was in AC.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So anyway, as far as the poll is concerned, man, chime in on the poll.
Thank you, greedy Q. You talk about food too much.
Say, bro, come on, bro. Can I finish? By the way, bro, I lost a lot of weight, brother. I lost a lot of weight, man.
You been eating carbless chips? What's going on, brother?
What? Carbless chips? No. DC, I've been eating my food in the sun. That's
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of sun, DC. Why don't you try it, bro?
Okay. Well, why you ain't getting no darker?
Haven't we all gotten a lot of sun?
Not DC. Why you ain't
getting no darker? I'm ready right now. What are you talking about, man?
Show your face.
I got a lot of sun today. Look at all this. I got a tan. Man, it's kind of dark out here. What is he talking about? He getting no sun.
Represent the sun, brothers.
That man
stay in the sun. I'm not light skinned, Lex. I'm transparent. When I stand behind something that's black, I'm dark as hell. I'm gonna let you do this to me. This is why I be telling Q I'm darker than him. All I gotta do is stand behind a really dark black background, and I turn that color.
That means you don't have a color, DC.
It's okay for you to continue to.
It's a superpower. I'm transparent. I can be whatever I want.
Dude, here's out of his mind.
Hey, I hope everybody got a chance to check out One Love, featuring DC.
One Love.
Yeah, he was on his premiere and just recently had a little one and things.
That's why he was going
Lex, don't be trying to do that. They ain't go see the movie. It's on Amazon Prime already. I don't want to hear that.
I know DC wasn't singing.
It ain't staying the show before a week.
Well, DC, you can't.
Got to see One Love Month.
Ain't see it.
They ain't see it. Who saw it?
You said something about I was smoking weed around some churn or something, and nobody went and saw the movie.
Y'all let us know in the chat who saw the movie One Love.
Not a damn person.
Nobody went saw it.
They know how it was going.
Time to type.
They knew how it was going. And DC was lip singing the whole damn way.
But y'all make sure when Miss Cleo come out, y'all go see Lex movie now.
Oh no,
they're gonna do a movie about her life.
I don't even look like her.
You sound like it when you get in your Jamaican bag.
Hey, my Jamaican bag. Okay. Okay.
All right. See, Tasha got love, man. Tasha said she went and saw the movie.
I appreciate
Tasha saw it. I expected you to go see it, Tasha.
Mm-hmm. What about
Tasha? A whole Spurs fan be over here, man. Tasha be supporting me.
Hey, he was in the car smoking weed with the kids. You know what I'm
saying? I wasn't doing shit. That was CGI.
All right, Nola Hitman, what's up, brother? Says I want the Pelicans team without CJ and BI. Would love to bring in a guy like Miles Turner. Bama.
You could include Miles Turner. Was that feasible or no?
I don't think Miles is going anywhere. We're gonna see, but Jalen Duren and Nick Claxton, who just signed that extension, that 4-year deal with the Nets. But like I said, man, it's a lot of crazy. It's really murky. Miles Turner, not so much on Miles Turner. I think they're excited I was researching it, and a lot of the Pacer press and the support base are excited about Miles Turner and Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. They believe that squad has the potential to go to the next level. We know their backup center Smith is going into free agency, I believe. And Bam just read up with Miami, so he's not going anywhere. Jalen Duren is an interesting one. And we'll see, man. But I don't look like Miles Turner's off the table. It's always smoking around Miles Turner and Jared Allen, man. So at some point, something got to shake, right? Maybe this is the summer.
Well,
we'll see.
Miles Turner, man, I mean, it could be real that he's off the table because there's reports they traded all that stuff for Siakam, and they're saying Siakam might walk. So if Siakam walks, I definitely don't see them moving on from Miles Turner.
Didn't Siakam just sign a deal, DC?
Did he?
Yeah. Hold on here. Let me look it up because I want to say in my mind, I remember Siakam signing a deal to go back there. Hold on. Let me see. Because I could have swore I remember a lot of stuff been happening.
Yeah, they didn't trade for Siakam for him to just to
walk.
lose him.
Yeah,
but they never signed the deal with him, though, Lex, when they traded with him. So they never signed the deal when they traded with him.
Well, they did. Yeah,
I think maybe he wanted to wait.
Yes, back in June. Sources: Pacers, Pascal Siakam to sign $189.5 million max contract.
DC, what's going on with you, man?
DC on
listen.
Look, if GMs are doing this,
I am a Pelicans person.
Going to get
I am not an Indiana.
I told you.
Look, you do
I'm
not
a New Orleans Pelican, Lex.
You do not trade for a player, okay, unless you can get them to sign an extension. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we thought. That's what we thought when Kawhi went to the Raptors. Maybe Pascal Siakam was watching him. I don't know.
DC was wrong.
Traded him there.
He was wrong.
They traded for him and they did not get him to sign an extension. So I mean, it does happen.
You was wrong. It's two left shoes on that.
I mean, well, the thing is, I think they were prepared for that too. They got a championship. They good.
Right. Well,
they did get a championship.
Well, that's what.
I mean, it's not like he let them high and dry. I mean, dude got him a championship. All right, deuces. Y'all good? All right. That's just
right, but I'm just saying they traded for him and they didn't extend him. So.
Well, okay, I think they were prepared. They just want to get that chip, man. They got that chip. So, it changed everything.
So Siakam took 189 and Brandon Ingram came?
Okay.
Don't try to muddy the water on the fact that you was wrong, bro.
Okay.
No, I said I don't think he's going back there. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm a New Orleans Pelican.
Well, that's a good point because Siakam he's a champion.
Yeah.
No damn Pacers.
Yeah, Rob. There you go. Too much weed. See, too much. Can't remember shit. DC can't remember.
You got
shout out, brother Hakeem.
You're damn right. I can't remember a goddamn thing about the Pacers.
But why you sit up there talking about Siakam then, like you had all the facts?
I said I don't think Siakam is going back. I didn't know he signed the max, but as y'all pointed out, he signed the max, so he going back.
So you gonna apologize for your wrong information?
We ready?
No, because I said I didn't know.
Ignorance is no excuse.
Ain't nothing to apologize for. I ain't no damn apologist for nothing to apologize. Get out of here.
Hey, Tasha had a message for you, DC.
You get out
of here. I can't read, remember?
Where's it at?
Well, that's the point.
Y'all read it to me.
Can you go back to it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, DC, you're not a great human being. I support you. Now read this.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Go ahead, read it. Read the
I can't read. I'm driving.
Is that why you wanted the Pelicans to pick up an undrafted player that couldn't read?
Yes.
He brought this shit up.
Look,
yes.
We don't need a whole bunch of yous, man.
Yes. There's only one me, baby. There could never be another.
Okay, well, we want players for the Pelicans to know how to read.
Just because he can't read don't make him me.
All right, and that's for any profession. That does not have to be for basketball. Okay.
I'm telling you, nobody cared
Come on
about
now.
nobody reading except for DC. DC kept
You
bringing
know how
that.
people have selective
That-
amnesia? I got selective
That's a
reading. I
requirement.
read when
That
I
is a
feel like it.
requirement.
Boy, DC be messing up them articles too. I remember I said, DC, could you
You
read
got
this?
selective reading.
It took DC 10 minutes to read one article. And
Oh,
people was just laughing.
why you say 10 minutes?
He did. He kept screwing up and had to start all over. And that's how Tasha started getting on him. Put one in the chat if y'all remember
I know,
DC.
15 years ago.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Put one
Hey.
in the chat if y'all remember DC reading. And it took him like 5 to 10 minutes to finish one article. I said, DC, you know what? Never mind, brother. We're never going to get the hell out of here.
Sound out the words,
Man, I
DC.
couldn't. You had that big old spot. That was my first time with the big old lights and the spotlights all in my face. Couldn't even see good, man. I needed some glasses.
Look, Pelicans Nolas, y'all, they going to put one in the chat. They remember
I had to zoom in on the words.
Zooming in the words, man. DC, eat your food in the sun from now on, brother. That's going to help your sight.
No.
Go help your sight. That boy said he
Oh, goodness gracious.
Lex, you know what that boy just said? That boy be saying crazy stuff around here. That boy said to me just a moment ago that I'm darker than DC. I mean,
Hey.
Big
I'm
Q.
talking to you. I am talking to you.
Hey,
No,
you know
you're
that
not.
meme? You know that
I'm
meme
talking to
where
you,
it's
though.
like a paragraph, Big Q.
It's
It's a
crazy.
paragraph, and the words are jumbled up, but the first and the last letter of each word in the paragraph are the actual words that you understand. So
Right.
you have to unjumble the word and you have to read it. We should put that up and let DC read it.
He ain't gonna do it.
I got a problem, Lex.
He ain't
I'm
gonna
It's
do
about
called
it.
to send
selective
that to
reading
you.
amnesia.
I'm about to
I can
send
read
it
when
to
I
you.
feel like it.
He ain't
Some
gonna
days
do
I
it.
can't.
I'm about
and
to
some
send
days I
it to
can't.
you.
Lex, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't
It
gonna
just
do it.
depends.
That would be class. Who wants to see that?
He
They
ain't.
can pull it up all day.
He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Oh,
Pull it up
goodness.
all day.
Lex, he ain't gonna do it.
Sure.
He ain't gonna do it. He's
That
not.
was really good, man.
He ain't
Here
gonna
it
do it.
is. I'm about to send it to you.
He ain't
Now,
gonna
don't
do
send
it.
it. I can't read. You're wasting your time. I'm driving.
No, this is good. Okay, I just sent
And
it.
he a
I
liar.
just sent it.
He ain't driving nowhere. He's sitting on his ass. You just seen him.
Come on,
In the
Big
car
Q.
and I'm driving since then. What you mean?
You,
Did you say
they
you
just-
driving?
He a liar.
You still going cross country? Where you going,
No,
man?
no, Lex, don't fall
I'm
for
in an
that.
RV.
No, he's not.
You
He
in
was
the
just.
RV? When
He
do you
just
park?
showed you, Lex.
When do you park?
Walmart,
He,
Target, places like that, and truck stops.
Well,
he just-
hey, Walmart is on every corner,
Hey, I
no,
always got. I can't
just
pull
like
over
the
now. We gotta
churches and
make
liquor
time.
stores.
We gotta make time, man.
Go on and stop.
We gotta
That
make time.
that
Time to
dude.
pull out. I was set up to do the show for 12 o'clock today.
Oh, there
But
he goes.
somebody was late.
Hey,
That boy a liar.
you should read that.
Somebody was late.
This is gonna test your ability if you can really read or not.
That boy ain't
Parked the
gonna do it.
RV, had all the gear set out. We had the generators running and everything. We never got the link for the show.
I just want
Now,
everybody to see it
Dan-
because, hey, the
Bear in mind,
people got a right to see that, man.
bear in mind, he just showed you his face. He was in the hallway.
The inside of the RV.
That boy a liar,
That's
boy.
inside of the RV, man.
That boy a liar, boy.
What type of
Good
RV
job.
you in? That don't have no walls and no lights and stuff. What you want
That
supposed to be?
wasn't no
You
RV.
know what?
It's mad
I
crazy.
don't hear no AC, and I know the
Well,
windows ain't down because I don't hear no wind. So, dude, what's really going on?
He a
I
liar.
got the
That's
noise cancellation on. What you talking about?
what
That
it
noise
is.
cancellation feature in
Hey,
StreamYard is
it's
amazing.
summertime. It is summertime. Okay.
What you mean?
The boy a
You don't hear
liar.
that AC blowing?
Hey, it's hot. It is hot.
Girl, how you don't hear that AC blowing? Hold up.
Get some
You don't
sun.
hear that AC blowing? You don't hear that?
Get you some sun, my brother.
You need to get you some new headphones.
what?
You can't
You
hear
know
that AC
what?
blowing. They're blowing all upside my head.
I'm glad that you're trying to let us hear the AC because I'm glad you didn't go shh.
Man, they just,
Nah, that's nasty. That's nasty.
Because you know some people would have did that.
No,
Like
no.
I'm outside. Shh, I can't hear you. Shh, we're breaking up. Shh.
That worked in the 2000s.
DC out of his mind, man. All right. He ain't gonna read it, Lex. Hold on. I'm trying to get it I got what you got. I'm
Hey,
gonna see
bro.
What is it, DC? Don't try to distract. Go ahead. What you want, DC? Go ahead.
I'm trying to look at what the Indiana Pacers salary cap situation is with Pascal Siakam's new deal to see if Miles Turner is indeed available.
He's not available. I just told you that. You didn't know that. You didn't even know that Siakam resigned. Now you going back there trying to figure something out. I just told you. I just told you.
Well, what's their salary cap, Mr. Know-It-All, man?
Bro, listen. All you need to know is that I've told you that they're not interested in breaking up the core of the team. Siakam, they gave him his deal. Halliburton, they're big on that core of the team. You getting Ben Mathurin?
Where are they money wise though? Like, are they first apron, second apron? That's what I was asking. What are they at? Are they in the tax after his deal?
They're not going to trade Miles Turner. DC, you go look it up.
Why? Because they said it.
I'm just telling you, brother. That's what they're hitting for. They're very proud.
If they're in the tax, bro, they got to move somebody. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
why they're not trading Miles Turner. I just was trying to see where they what were their tax implications.
You do know the backup center is going into free agency though. The backup center that they was the guy
don't make no money though. He dropped it was like $4 million they were gonna pay him, man. That ain't nothing.
Okay.
That's enough to get them out of the tax. Like, I don't know what their cap situation is.
Well, DC, the internet is worldwide, brother. You know, just I tell you what.
I don't see it
the world
popping up after the Siakam deal as far as they cap. Little
I promise you, it's a worldwide situation.
I was asking you.
Big Q, play the Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, that's right, Q. I can't read, so how am I supposed to look that up?
He not gonna
I can't read.
All right, DC.
The hell you want me to look up stuff on the internet? I can't read. How much time to type if I can't read?
I'm gonna send it to him. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to DC.
I can't read it.
My Lord. All right, enough. Okay. It ain't gonna work, Lex. He ain't gonna read it.
You got an audible version?
Okay, could you zoom in on it?
Oh no, this dude said
you still got the Reading Rainbow theme song though, Big Q. We can play that.
Oh yeah, come on there, Lex.
And he can sing that in the Jamaican accent.
Oh no,
I can't sing that, Lex.
See, he ain't gonna do that. See, he cheat.
It's in a book, the Reading
Rainbow. They got words. They got words in there and books and stuff. That's a contradiction. I can't read. I can't read that. I can't sing that. I can't read.
Yeah, boy, they're funny. Boy.
I can't read today.
That boy said, "Did it come in the DC, you're a funny character, brother.
Have you ever read chapter books?
Who?
Have you ever read chapter books?
What's that?
Butterfly in the sky.
Hey.
I can go twice as high.
No.
DC, come on.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Oh, Q, they got all the books back there, like your thing back there.
I can go anywhere. Friends to
a
know,
lot of places right now.
trees to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book.
Well, I guess I won't see it. That's a big ass book.
That's the extended version. DC on your ass, man. 1/5.
I might read if I get one of them big ass books like that.
Goodness
I can
gracious.
see with one of them big ass books.
DC ain't gonna read it, bro. We gonna
Moral of the story, everybody: read books. Okay. Reading is powerful.
And I'm gonna quote Birdman when I say this. Who was in jail talking to the inmates? You think the books gonna help y'all? The Birdman got up in front of some inmates, bro. He said, "Man, I can help. I got the power to help y'all. I can help y'all in any way." He said, "What y'all need?" One of the dudes said, "Yeah, man, we need to get the inventory for the books up." Nigga, you think them books gonna help you?
DC asked for the audible version, man.
I laughed at that shit all week.
That killed me.
Back to basketball, guys. Come on, let's go.
I'm trying to talk about getting you out here. You trying to get some books?
DC, this is not helping the case for you, brother.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Q, them damn books ain't gonna help you back to nigga.
Reading is knowledge.
What are you talking? Oh, what are you talking? What is DC?
Come on, man. We get off topic, dog.
No, that's you. You crazy. You
Yeah,
lost.
you keep going on
ran a
about it.
whole goddamn Reading Rainbow song. You want to call me
Yeah,
crazy?
I mean, look, we asked you to read something, and you
You and
didn't
Lex.
read it, and so we wanted to encourage you. We want to
Why
encourage
y'all trying
you.
to encourage? We supposed to be talking sports. This ain't got shit to do with reading right now.
Why are we bringing up dumb movies about people in prison need books? And they got a lot of smart. They got people that's books in jail, brother. What you talking about, DC?
Hey, I'm
Spike-
just telling you what Birdman said.
Nah, dang.
Crazy spike pineapple talk from DC.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man.
I hear you, brother. All right,
Them
so
books
anyway,
ain't gonna help you. Tell me
DC
the Indiana Pacers.
DC going
payroll.
back to Pelican talk. DC going back to the
All right,
Pelican.
let's get back to it, bro.
This dude here, man.
We done had enough levity.
Hey, All World Trucker says, so DC, what you saying? You street smarts, not book smarts?
I'm all type of smarts. I ain't gonna even put a label on it.
That sound right.
I don't know what to call it because I can't read.
Oh, goodness.
It's the dumb
So we
man.
know you're not book smart because you have to read a book.
No, you don't. You can just listen to Audible books all day.
That's not reading, that's listening.
So if you listen to the book, you ain't read it.
That's not.
No,
You heard it, didn't
Oh
you?
my gosh.
all
Didn't
right.
you
That's
hear
Look,
it?
reading, that's listening.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? If you
All
do
right.
that and you
So
listen
do
to
it
the
right.
book,
Do
you
it right.
can read
Get
it.
that high pitched voice.
all right. All
Get
right,
that high
DC.
pitched voice, DC. Come
Let
on.
me hit this one. This one, DC, if you don't mind, brother. I'm gonna hit this all, brother.
Oh, my goodness.
We're gonna
My
get ready.
brother Rob McCoy say Birdman say books for punks. Damn. I hope he didn't say that for real. That's crazy.
All right, let's hit this one here, fam. This is an article. Look, hold on.
I'm sorry.
That's right, Q. Read the article. Come on.
DC still reads with one finger under the word he reads.
Nah, that ain't true. I just listen to Audible books, bro. I don't got time for that.
Okay, let's focus. We're ready.
I read more books than you in a day. The Audible version.
That's
All right.
listening. That's listening.
I see the words in my head, Lex.
All right, DC. All right,
I'm an Audible learner.
all right, DC. That's funny, bro. Yeah, I mean that's funny. All right, this article right here, fam. Shout out to the Flock Nation, man. Pelicans Dejounte Murray breaks silence on surprising Hawks trade. This is from Clutch Sports. Murray knew there was a good chance he would be traded from the Hawks after hearing his name in rumors for months on end. But many people were not expecting him to land in the Big Easy. For those waiting for the fireworks to begin on Sunday with the start of the NBA free agency, they haven't received quite the jolt courtesy of the Pelicans Friday night. By landing Murray and adding an intriguing core, the Pels are making their presence known in the Western Conference. Although Brandon Ingram's future in New Orleans is uncertain, this move continues to maximize the talents of Zion Williamson and also gives CJ McCollum a highly productive backcourt mate. Murray likely needs some time to process the big change, but he appears to be stoked about his new NBA home based on his social media activity. The 2022 All-Star posted, quote, NOLA, end quote, and the city area code hashtag 504 to go along with smiling face with horn emojis via Clutch Sports. He's ready to join this deep squad and to help it to ascend to the next level. As it's currently constructed, this has a strong chance to be the franchise best team since its move to New Orleans. The Pelicans went 49-33 last year, but lost Williamson to injury and NBA play-in, leaving them with little hope against OKC in the opening round of the playoffs. While health is always a concern for this squad, bringing in a two-way guard like Dejounte Murray provides head coach Willie Green with even more high-end talent to trust in his starting five. Ideally, this trade will prove to be far more successful than the Hawks experiment. So they talk about him theoretically fitting better with the Pelicans. Fit better with the Pelicans than the Hawks, obvious, right? Atlanta acquired Murray in a blockbuster deal there in the 2022 of June. The team only 1 year removed from a surprise run to the Eastern Conference Finals, and boasted Trae Young and plenty of young pieces whose potential could become further unlocked with the presence of the 2022 NBA steals leader. Murray's well-rounded skill set was supposed to lift the Hawks back into the upper echelon of the conference and keep them there for years to come. Instead, the franchise regressed and found an unfortunate home in the play-in round, also known as NBA purgatory. He did not mesh with Young on the court as intended, but Murray might be the perfect complement for the Pelicans. The 27-year-old can be an effective playmaker for Zion Williamson and possibly BI if he remains in New Orleans, while also disrupting opposing guards on both sides of the floor. Despite Atlanta's troubles, 36-46, he still enjoyed an impressive campaign, averaging a career high 22.5 points per game on a respectable 46% shooting from the field and 36.3% shooting from downtown. Now, Murray also dished out about 6.4 assists per contest, which tops the team high mark set by Mark Ingram last season. His 111 steals in 23-24 should pair well with the 105 that the defensive pest Herb Jones recorded, forcing opponents to be extremely careful with the ball when facing New Orleans. In theory, this addition should make the Pelicans a truly formidable foe in the West. And yes, the same was said about the Hawks in the East when they traded for Dejounte Murray. But in hindsight, the red flags were present. If all goes as expected next season, both player and team should be better off than they were before Friday. So shout out to Clutch Sports with this article, man. We're covering it, and that's a little something I wanted to drop. That's the last article I had for the family members there. So y'all want to feel free to chime in on that. Lex in DC, you can feel free to.
Oh, I mean,
Go ahead, Lex. I can't read, so you go first.
okay.
Just go off of what you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new scenery, new situation. It didn't work out in Atlanta, so I mean, that's basically what all we can go off of is in theory. The Pelicans aren't finished yet, so we don't know if Brandon's going to be staying or going. Same thing with CJ. What the lineup is going to look like as far as the starting lineup. So I don't know. I think whatever happens, we'll definitely see. I mean, I can't really comment if it's going to be great or not, but we'll see how it all pans out. But I'm definitely glad that he's excited being with the Pelicans. That's always a good thing, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's good.
I mean, he made it short and sweet, so he's excited, and that's always a good thing. We want players to be excited about playing for the team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I want to see the rest of this stuff happen. A lot of people saying, man, they need to keep BI. We need to get trade BI because we can't afford him. CJ got to go eventually. We got to keep building the team forward, man. Dejounte Murray is a good piece to go along with Zion. We need a little bit more. The draft was solid. We need a little bit more. We got to fill, we still got spots that we got to fill on the team. Najee Marshall's not coming back. We got to find out who's going to be those guys. So there's still a lot to do here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still a lot to do. DC, you want to chime in before we get ready?
Man. You definitely, that's what you want to hear from the guy, that he wants to be here. You know how we are here, man. Once you embrace, you want to be here with us. It's kind of hard for us to let you go, man. That's why a lot of people want BI to be here. Kind of great. I don't think you paying attention, kind of great, bro. Why would you say that?
Who are you talking to, Casper?
Oh,
no,
really?
Kind of great. It's comment, but
really?
But
really?
Yeah, why would you say that?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna put this article in, and I want you to read it. Okay, just read the first two paragraphs.
You got put the audible version up.
Okay,
in your voice again.
No, you need to read the article.
I'm gonna rewind the show.
Go ahead
and
DC.
let everybody hear. There you go.
I thought so. Go ahead.
What you thought?
Just go ahead. What you thought, bro? I thought so. Go ahead. Keep. Go ahead. Go finish your thoughts, sir.
I told you them damn books ain't gonna help you, bro. But anyway, like I was saying, you definitely want to hear that a guy wants to be here. You embracing the city in the right way, starting off on the right foot. We got to see how things go with Dejounte on the court, but I think he'll be fine, man. This dude he's a true point guard. So typically when you got talented people around, or you move from a team that has less talent to one that has more talent, that makes your day, man. That's what you want. You don't want to have to carry everybody and do everything the way he was having to do in Atlanta. So he'll be able to better utilize some of his other abilities by coming here. I just want to know, how does he feel about BI though, man? Like, there's these connections that both of them are really tight. So, like, how would he feel about us potentially moving on from BI when he's coming here? So maybe some of that friendship is overblown, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's more so a business move. I think people are taking it more personal, but the thing is like we've seen this experiment for a while now, and I mean, we all know that Zion and Brandon don't click on the court like they need to as a duo. They just don't. When you look at other duos around the league, their chemistry and their connection is not there. They don't have consistency as far as playing off of each other. We've talked about that many a times. And so you look at his contract situation, you look at the fact that, when you're moving Brandon, that kind of opens up the door for Trey Murphy. Are we going to continue to have Trey Murphy come off the bench? We've also heard many a times that the net rating of the starters for the team wasn't very good. When Trey Murphy was out there, the team actually did better. So in order to make room for Trey Murphy, if we do value Trey Murphy because he is young, he just needs the opportunity. Sometimes in order to exploit someone's game, to see what they can really do, sometimes you have to move someone to make room for them, to get more playing time, to get more opportunities to show their game, to show what they can do, and to see if they're promising. With Brandon, we don't know how much more he's going to get better, but we know with Trey, he doesn't mind shooting that three. He can attack the basket. The only thing that he lacks is his midi. But as far as being able to shoot from behind the arc, Trey Murphy has that down already, and he doesn't mind doing that. Brandon is still struggling with that. And if you look at the trends of the league, that's what it's going to. So, I mean, you want the fit, you want the fit to be right. And I mean, the other side of it is if Brandon goes somewhere else, you're talking about he's going to probably have a better coach, be in a better system where he can utilize his skill set. So, I mean, there's two ways about this, but, definitely with everything that's going on with him, I mean, he just gives us the best bet, especially with his, with this contract situation. So.
All right, fam. Let me go back to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all chiming in on this thing, man. Listen, the poll that we set, the second poll in the chat, which big should the Pels trade for? I wish you can be able to add more than 4 options. But Jared, I guess I entered the most popular options right now. Jared Allen, DeAndre Ayton, Nick Claxton, and Walker Kessler. Those are 4 bigs that we've been hearing a lot about in the Pel chat. Well over 100 people voted on the poll, and Jared Allen is running away with it, 38%. The second leader up is actually Deandre Ayton with 25%, Walker Kessler's 24%, and Claxton's 14%. So there you go. So it's Jared Allen running away with that thing with 38%, man. Wow. So a lot of the Pelicans, the family members, the flock, think Jared Allen could be the right answer for the Pels, man.
Smart people.
Yeah, it would be a good move too, man. Would be a good move. That's why the flock is the flock. right, so anyway, fam, listen, we're going to get ready to get out on that. Listen, we appreciate you guys hanging with us on this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Shout out to you guys. We appreciate DC for stopping by, kind of giving some light to everybody, man. And I just want to end the stream with this dedication to DC, leaving out the stream.
I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading
Yes, I ain't gonna see that shit, man.
I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
All right. Shout out to DC. Shout out to all y'all, man. We're going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love and go Pels.
Show us the edge. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Whoa, and see the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood on blood, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em the it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check